Check 1 2, mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. What's going on, people? What's crack-a-lacking? Welcome back to the Random Show. Random Show episode number 475. Random Show episode number 475. 475. Day number 11. Day number 11. Day number 11 of 31. 11 of 31. We're getting there, bro. We're getting there. Double digits. Double digits. I told you, motherfuckers. I told you, motherfuckers who doubted me. I told you. We're going to hit 31 days. We're going to do it by hook or crook. By hook or crook, we're doing the 31 days. I do not care. If I have to fucking stay in the entire month, not touch a single lick of anything, not touch a single dab of fucking Tusi, not touch a single fucking key of fucking Ket, not touch a single fucking sip of Jameson's. In order to do it, I will do it. We're doing it, bro. We're locking in. We're locking in. We're fucking locking in. We're getting it fucking done. We're getting it fucking done. You guys out there, you can do all that shit. I'm going to live vicariously through you. So if you're fucking drinking on something nice, if you're sipping on something nice, if you're shoveling something up your nose, if you've got something on your tongue, if you're smoking on something, let me know in the stream chat, because I'm not doing any of that shit. I'm focused. I'm clear. You know what I mean? I'm driven. I've got a goal in mind. 31 days. Continued. 31 days. Continued. We'll probably go over the 31 days too. We're probably going to go into October. We're probably going to go into October. That's how fucking locked in I'm going to be. So big up everybody in the stream chat. I appreciate every single one of you for joining me. And as we proceed, we're trying to hit 500 members. It's a really long goal. It's a really stretch goal. It's a really crazy goal. But we're trying to hit 500 members by the end of the 31 days. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. It's going to be stressful. It's going to be scary. It's going to be shocking. It's going to be wild. But we're going to give it a go. We're going to give it a go. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. So if you want to join and you want to help along the way, there's a link in the description for you to become a member. Membership start at only $1. Membership starts at only $1. There's two membership, $1, $4.99. Become a member, get access to member-only streams, and help us get to that 500 goal target. Member-only streams, 500 goal target. So make sure you get involved. Link in the description down below. Link in the description down below. Become a member today. If you don't want to become a member, that's okay. Just like the stream. That's what you got to do. Like the stream. The other day I streamed for fucking 8 hours. That stream is gone now, by the way, and I couldn't even get 100 likes. So if you can, while you're watching the stream, give me a little like. What? Just when you remember. Whatever you remember, give me a fucking like. That's all I ask. Give me a like. Subscribe to our channel. It's all well and good. But if you want to go a step above, become a member. Help us reach that 500 member goal target by the end of the 31 days. Okay? Cool. Bless. Now, quick update on the channel. The live stream that I did the other day, the Fight Companion live stream, along with the fucking Young Thug watch along, has unfortunately been blocked. It's unfortunately been blocked. You can't view it. It's completely gone. It's completely blocked. It's blocked on my end because of the Young Thug interview. Not even Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan obviously demonetized it, but Young Thug, that channel blocked the fucking thing. So that video is gone from YouTube. But I have managed to re-download the whole thing, and I've uploaded it onto Patreon. It's for free. So if you want to watch that whole stream again, I'm not too sure if you do. If you do want to, you know, the whole live stream is available to watch on Patreon. So just check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Agostino. There's a link down below, and you can get access to that fucking live stream for free. You don't have to sign up or be a part of the Patreon. You can watch it for free on my Patreon right now if you want to watch it in full. But it's not on my YouTube. It's not on my YouTube. It's gone because unfortunately that Young Thug interview got blocked because I think that channel wants to, you know, get all the views for the video, which is okay. They don't want anybody else to kind of, and I think I was also watching it in silence, so you know, it's a bit my fault, to be fair. There's too many gaps, so I was just watching the thing. I should have just commentated along the way. It would have probably helped to not get copyright blocked, but it got copyright blocked, so I managed to download the whole thing. Watch it on the Patreon if you want to. It's already there, available for you on the Patreon, patreon.com/Agostino. It's completely free. You don't have to sign up to Patreon to watch it, so check it out. Anyway, today's show we're going to cover mostly Two Bears One Cave, Schaub show. We're going to cover mostly Two Bears, One Cave and Schaub show, okay? We're going to cover those two. But I have just seen that Podcast Cringe did drop a video analyzing that fucking tete-a-tete thing that happened between Rogan and Callan. So let's react to that right now because it's fresh. So I did just see Podcast Cringe did upload a new video with Brian Callan and Rogan going back and forth. So let's just react to that now. And then we'll go on to doing Two Bears, One Cave and Schaub show, okay? So let's just go with that straight away. So big up everybody in the stream chat. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you guys so much. Let's fucking go. We're going to react to this one. Joe Rogan gets called out and has a meltdown, courtesy of Podcast's second channel, Podcast Bites. Let's check it out.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, Mr. Joe Rogan, Mr. Scientist. Are you saying that we shouldn't
have... Don't do that. Don't call me Mr. Scientist. I'll start mocking you, and it's so much easier to mock you. Please stop.
Yes. No, I won't. I won't. No, I know you think it's just... I've heard Susan Humphreys.
This is a long conversation that we're not going to have on this podcast because I'm going to get angry because I've researched this for years.
Right.
Let's just
But you're not a scientist.
I don't have to be a scientist to know that...
Yes, you do.
No, Brian, shut the f up. I don't have to be a scientist to read research. Brian...
To be fair, you know what's really sad about this, man? You know what's really sad about this? And I know it's just kind of gay for me to say sad because you guys are like, oh, it's not sad. But I used to like Rogan, man. I'm not afraid to admit, I used to really like Rogan. I used to really enjoy how objective he was, how balanced he was, how open he was to hearing other people's points of view and opinions, you know? He used to kind of enjoy it. He took a lot of pleasure out of being the guy that was learning from people, you know, open. But now I think this argument has kind of solidified to all of us that he's no longer that man anymore. He's now very wedded to his ideas and his belief, you know. He's not as open-minded as he once was. Maybe he was never open-minded, to be fair to him completely, and to maybe look at me in a little bit of an idiotic light. Maybe Rogan was never open-minded in the first place. Maybe he was always this guy, but we just didn't see it, or I didn't see it before. But the really sad thing about this exchange isn't that Rogan's wrong, which is wrong. The sad thing about this exchange is that Rogan feels like he's right. And he's not open to the idea that maybe there's two sides to this conversation. You know, he's not open to the idea that maybe, even though he's read what he's read, he might be still a bit uninformed. You know, he's very wedded to the idea that he's right, he has all the answers. The common held beliefs, the shared knowledge, the experience, the research that's gone into whatever it's gone into, the expertise, that doesn't matter. Because he's read certain articles, that's what's most important. That's a really sad thing about it. He's become very hard-headed, very narrow-minded, very small-minded. And this is not the Rogan that I, for lack of a better term, fell in love with. I know that sounds gay, but it's true.
And you don't know what the f I'm saying. You don't.
Well, I know because you don't want to talk about it.
Brian, I don't want to talk about it in the middle of a podcast because it'll completely derail the podcast.
Where's Okai from?
From your mother's pussy.
Hey, that's out.
And just a short comment on that to your mother's pussy thing. I'm not too sure about you guys. Am I being too soft? Am I being too woke? Am I being too black? Am I being too fucking aggressive when I say you don't just say that to people, innit? You don't just talk about their mother's pussies if you don't want to fight. Like, why does Rogan, why is he allowed? Why is he allowed to, like, or why do his friends allow him to speak to him that way? Especially Brian, sorry. You know? I don't know, but like, there are some conversations you have with your friends where it kind of gets into like the, you know, mean words, cuss words get thrown out. But in this exchange, what would warrant him saying that to Brian? Brian's pushing back and disagreeing with him when it comes to vaccines. Why is Brian deserving of being spoken to that way? Obviously, the way Brian's smiling is kind of enraging me more. The fact that he's making light of it and he's not that triggered or angered by it, that's annoying. It's obviously only happening because it's Rogan. If somebody in the street said that to him, I'm sure he wouldn't be too happy. But because it's Rogan and he's rich and he's famous and whatever, let it lie. But I wouldn't have that. I'm not going to lie. And I guess it's different in real life when you have a friend that's rich and famous as Rogan. With maybe it's different, but I can say this now as I'm comfortably sitting in this chair. Like, that's also one of the reasons why I think I don't have a lot of friends. I don't really do well with these with the jokey jokes. You know, when people go like, you know, some guys like to make those type of jokes that are like kind of jokes but not jokes. I don't do well with it. I'm gonna get triggered. I'm gonna fly off the handle. I'm not gonna handle it well. I don't like that. And I honestly think if that's your friend, you're not really respecting your friendship. You're not respecting that person if you speak to him in that way. You don't need to. You can have a heated argument. You can get shouty at each other. You can get each other's faces. But why need to mention his mum's pussy? You know, that's just so over. That's such an unnecessary step to take. You know, that's so crazy. That's so over the top based on the argument that they're having. I didn't like this whatsoever. But if Brian likes it, I guess we have to put up with it.
Line.
Tall and funny comedian Joe Rogan is going through a rough time at the moment. It seems like every week he's being called out for something different, whether it's refusing to acknowledge that Donald Trump is actively trying to hide the Epstein.
Big up Koila. Great word. Koila, great. Exactly. Great observation. Imagine Rogan pre-weed. All these unfunny comments are people who wanted clout so bad they pretended to put up with Angry Sprug. Exactly. Imagine what Rogan was like pre-weed. Imagine. But to be fair, Joey Diaz does let us know. Joey Diaz lets us know he was very uptight. He was very non-fun. Let's just say that. Joey Diaz mentions that quite a few times. If you watch him and listen to him, he's mentioned that Rogan basically started smoking properly in his like late 30s, 40s and shit. But before that, he was a proper narc. He was a proper Debbie Downer, proper party pooper. He used to always get pissed off when those guys were drinking or smoking. He'd be like wanting them to be, he want them to be like in the room writing, doing push-ups and stuff and writing fucking jokes. He could never relax. They were so happy when he started smoking weed at least, and it caught and mellowed him out of it. But he must have been absolutely no fun when he wasn't smoking. Even now he's fucking no fun. Imagine back then. Big up Koila.
Files from the public and pretending like it's still some big conspiracy, or it's the blatant confirmation bias when he falls for yet another AI video, even when his producer Jamie is literally telling him in real time that it's fake, but he just brushes it off and says, yeah, but it could be real. I'd believe it if it was. But it's a very rare occasion when one of his own buddies calls him out to his face in the studio over a topic that little Joe is very, very sensitive about and refuses to let it go. I honestly can't remember the last time this happened on JRE. Maybe it was the now infamous Steven Crowder episode where Rogan bullied and mocked him for suggesting weed was contributing to traffic accidents, which Rogan would later apologize for. Watch it, Joe. Watch it. Oh no, hang on. Crowder only says that to pregnant women. Whoops. But Joe and Brian Callen have history.
By the way, what happened to that? What happened to that whole story? Did his pregnant wife end up divorcing him or no? I feel like I don't see, maybe I've made this point before, but I feel like I don't see Crowder in the algo anymore. And I'm not somebody that mutes people's channels or whatever. I don't feel like I see Crowder in my algo at all. I see everybody else. I see all the other right-wing talking, talkers and shit. I see the Candace Owens. I see the Nick Fuenteses. I see the fucking Sneak. I don't know. I see everybody, but I feel like I don't see Crowder on my timeline, on my thing at all. What happened to him, bro? Like, has he been fucking cancelled? Has he been shadow banned? Like, honestly, I can't remember the last time I saw a clip of Crowder's on my timeline anywhere. And I'm sure he's saying some crazy stuff. I'm sure he has some fucking crazy opinions and views, but they're not. I even see Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit are demonetized on YouTube. They're, persona non grata for the most part. But I see more clips of Myron and Walter from Fresh and Fit than I do ever of fucking Crowder. It's pretty wild. Oh, really? He was banned? Really? Was he banned? When did he get banned? I don't remember him getting banned. Did he get banned? I don't remember that.
History as well. Years ago, Brian tried to run a gag with Schaub where he pretended to be this tough guy that wasn't going to take any shit from anyone anymore and threatened to show up at anyone's house who had beef with him, to which Rogan shut him down immediately and called him out for hanging around the wrong people. You all know the clip. We've all seen it 1,000 times.
One thing I would put about this thing, because Podcast Cringe is making a big up NJ. Do
you have a gun?
Joe talks big shit about the marketplace of ideas and how comedians bust balls, unlike civilians, meanwhile triggered by rinks. Also Crowder is done.
Exactly. The marketplace of ideas, but then when other people come to the fucking market with their fucking wares to sell, he fucking froze a hissy fit. He's like fucking Jesus, when he walked through the market and saw everyone selling and went crazy. Saw everyone selling in the church. What are you guys doing? He's on that kind of tip. Like, honestly, big up NJ Ranger. Great point. But you know what's really funny about this, right? I was thinking, this is really bad for Brian's reputation and for how he's perceived and how he's treated by others. Because I think Brian's like Smack from Back on Fig. Weird correlation to make. I know, but here with me. Bear with me. Brian Callen is like Smack from Back on Fig. T-Rail, Heather, everybody associated with Fig Community World, with Community, all those people, they treat Smack like he's a dum-dum, which he is a bit, don't get me wrong. He might be a little bit developmentally challenged. But the way that they mock and insult and troll and pick at and bully and undermine and whatever Smack on camera has an effect away from them. Because other people look at Smack like a mark, like a somebody you can take the piss out of. And I think the same thing happens with Brian. I think the fact that Brian lets himself be the butt of the joke, he's probably the one that is able to roll with it more, doesn't seem to have thin skin, I think has had negative an effect on how he is viewed and how people look at him. Because I'm not a big, but I think you should be really careful how you talk about and treat your friends in public. You know, yes, in private you could have certain jokes that you run, but you should be careful how you behave with your friends in public, because it may have adverse effects for them in their own life. But I could be wrong.
However, over the weekend on the latest JRE Fight Companion, Brian called out Joe Rogan for spreading misinformation about vaccinations and their links to certain diseases. Nothing we haven't heard before from our boy Joe, but it's the first time that one of his buddies had the balls to actually call him out for it on a live stream, no less. There is so much more going on here than you think. Brian Callen knew exactly what he was doing, and I believe this one was 100% planned out beforehand. So stick around, because I'll explain exactly what I mean right after this clip.
The bottom line is, biology is really simple. Double X, XY. Sometimes there's a mistake. Sometimes there's an error and you get XXY. That is a real thing.
There's overlap.
But it's super rare.
Yes.
What this is a social contagion. And Abigail Schreier wrote a fantastic book about it called Irreversible Damage that she highlights how they're happening in these clusters of a lot of girls who are autistic. How come 1 in every 12 kids who's a boy in California has autism now? Because that's what's going on. That's what's going on in California, which has one of the strictest vaccine.
I like how the easiest to make conclusion is that it's the vaccines. No, it couldn't be because you're in a more, like, I'd imagine, right? This is just my guess. My guess would be the more liberal, left-leaning a state is, more likely you're going to have more instances of people being diagnosed with stuff like autism. I'd imagine. Just imagine. Because of the type of people that are moving there, the type of tests they're doing in the first place. You know, it's probably going to be a thing. I wouldn't say it necessarily all has to do with fucking vaccines. Personally, I wouldn't have to say it's all to do with vaccines. I have to say it's probably where the people are at. Also, I'm not really too sure even how they even test these things when it comes to autism, what type of level autism is. I'm sure there's different types of levels and grades and severities, and not all autism is created equally. All those type of things come into account. But I wouldn't necessarily make the correlation or the link that it has to be the vaccines that are causing all these kids to be autistic. It's not. I don't think that's the case. It's got to be something else. But hey, when it comes to Rogan, let's make the easy. Let's make the easy correlation that it has to be the vaccines.
Policies. 1 in 12. Did I say vaccines?
I'm sure they play a part. Don't get me wrong. Maybe they play a part, but it's not the whole reason.
Vaccines cause autism?
Florida doesn't demand vaccines.
Yeah,
for kids.
that's dangerous to me.
Yeah.
I knew you'd jump on that train.
Of course, it's dangerous, Brian. What are you talking about?
Tetanus,
All vaccines.
tetanus.
Tetanus.
Should we just go down the road we're
You
on?
need to bail on the tetanus thing, because
What do you
Suzanne Humphreys.
Educate his ass.
Suzanne Humphreys explained tetanus.
She's not a
She's like,
vaccinologist. I know that woman.
all you have to do is keep the wound open and clean it.
Oh, that's
you
such
don't.
bull-
It's not
Oh my
bullshit.
God,
It's
what
not bullshit.
bullshit.
Do you know how many people die?
Honestly, advising people to not get tetanus shots and like just leaving the wound open and cleaning it is fucking insane, man. Don't worry about tetanus. It's okay. Just keep the wound open. It's okay.
I have tetanus every year. Very
shit.
few. What about
Okay,
stop.
so let me ask you a question, Mr. Joe Rogan, Mr. Scientist. Are you saying
Don't
that we shouldn't
don't
have...
do that. Don't call me Mr. Scientist. I'll start mocking you, and it's so much easier to mock you.
So are we...
And you know what's funny as well? When Brian says Mr. Scientist, he's not even saying it to be like a cunt. He's almost saying it to be playful, because Rogan is trying to sound like a scientist, right? But he takes it look how he's glaring at Callen. He takes it as such an offense. I don't think Callum's trying to be rude. He's being playful. He's trying to have a laugh. He's trying to, you know what I mean? But he takes it so badly. You know what I mean? It triggers him so badly when he's kind of being playful. He's taking the piss out of it because Rogan's trying to sound like a scientist by quoting papers, research, all this stuff. And he just, look how he's glaring at Callum. He's absolutely scolding him with his eyes. Jesus Christ, man.
Are we not? So you don't believe in vaccines? You don't think we should have vaccines?
It's not that I don't believe in vaccines.
What are you saying?
It's I don't think you should give a kid.
And I also don't like the outrage, the disgust, the confusion he has when Callum makes the suggestion or Callum makes the correct assumption. So what? You don't believe in vaccines then? And it's almost like he's outraged. Like, how can you say I don't believe in vaccines? Because you've just been arguing. You're calling me fucking names off the basis that you think kids are getting autism from vaccines. So if I say, or if I come to the conclusion or the assumption that you're not a fan of vaccines, that's not a far off conclusion to come to. But Rogan's like, oh, I don't know. That's what all these comedians do anyway. They say one thing, you interpret it as what they said. You interpret what they said as what they said, and then they say, oh no, I didn't say it like that. Then choose your words carefully, then, innit? Choose your words more wisely. You're a comedian, use your words. If you didn't mean to sound like you're not a fan of vaccines, stop saying shit that makes you sound like you're not a fan of vaccines.
A Hep B vaccine when they're a baby. There's a lot of problems because they don't test vaccines in a double-blind, placebo-controlled setting. They test them against other vaccines. You know that, right?
Yes, I do. Excuse me. Let me just say something. Yes, you're right. You can make the argument for Hep B. Here's why. Because the chances of a child coming in contact with the kind of activity that causes Hep B is different. What I'm trying to say to you is that there are certain diseases. Pick up a history book. Smallpox. Diphtheria.
little bullet there, a little sneaky bullet. Pick up a history book. Ouch.
Mumps.
Polio. Please stop.
Yes. No, I won't. I won't. No, I know you think it's just. I've heard Susan Humphreys.
This is a long conversation that we're not going to have on this podcast because I'm going to get angry because I've researched this for years.
Right.
You don't like it when Daddy Rogan gets angry. We don't like it when Daddy gets angry, right? Daddy Rogan. Imagine your friend saying this to you. I'm going to get angry. So what? You get angry? Get fucking angry, you fucking knob. Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine talking to your friends this way. Let's not talk about it because you're gonna make me angry. What do you mean make you fucking angry? How dare you?
Powerful bunch.
Big up Gitsy. Thank you for becoming a member. Big up Gitsy. I appreciate you. Big up fucking Gitsy. I appreciate you. Thank you for becoming a member. Big up Blood Clot Gitsy. Big up Blood Clot Gitsy. We're getting there. We're approaching. We're slowly but surely creeping towards 200 members. Creeping. Snail's pace, but we're gonna get there. Day by day, we're gonna get there.
Right.
Let's just.
But you're not a scientist.
I don't have to be a scientist to know that.
Yes, you do.
No, Brian, shut the f up. I don't have to be a scientist to read research to understand that.
I think you. I wonder how can you let's see in Google. Can anyone call themselves a scientist? I don't know. What does AI say? Anyone can legally call themselves a scientist, but you have to have the title recognized by others. They typically need to demonstrate scientific activity, such as conducting peer-reviewed research, which Rogan definitely is not doing, having formal credentials, Rogan doesn't have that, or being paid to perform scientific work. Rogan definitely not being provided that. The degree of formality for being a scientist varies from professional credential researchers to amateur citizen scientists who apply the scientific method in their personal lives. Who can call themselves scientists? Anyone can legally call themselves scientists. There's no laws. Hobbyists and enthusiasts, citizen scientists. So you can, but you can't. You can, but you can't. You can, but you can't. But let's just say Rogan is not a scientist, right? Let's just say that. Rogan is not a scientist.
They were spraying DDT all over the country when everybody was getting polio. Do you know that?
Let me make a statement.
They were calling it paralytic polio.
Do you agree?
And remember, by the way, he kept saying, let's not talk about it. He kept saying, stop talking about it, you're making me angry. I'm going to mock you. Da, 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 da. And all you keep seeing are clips of Rogan still talking about it.
Agree with the following statement. It's not just.
I'm not going to do this with you,
but
Brian.
It's not just about.
I brought up vaccines.
It's not just about. Hold on. Joe.
No, Brian, I don't want to do this with you.
But it's not just about.
We're in the middle of a fight companion. It's annoying.
All right, but it's like. Yeah.
Joe Rogan finally showed his true colors when one of his buddies called him out live on air for the world to see. How many times have we...
That's a good point, isn't it? One of his buddies, because now we know why he doesn't have people on that disagree with him. Because imagine, if he's reacting like this to Brian Callen, who's his best friend, right? He's known Brian Callen for like, I can say, let's just make the assumption that they're best friends because they've known each other for 30 plus years. There's that famous picture of them in the back of a car. I think they're in Las Vegas somewhere on the way to a comedy gig looking super young. They've known each other for 30 years. They probably both got past at the Comedy Store around the same fucking time. These are best friends. If he's talking or if he's getting distriggered by his best friend disagreeing with him, just imagine how angry and triggered he'd get if he had somebody else on there that was like a guest on there that was a scientist that opposed his views who he didn't know. Imagine how much that would trigger him. Because you'd think with your friends you'd be a little bit more calm, a little bit more chill, understanding, but he just cannot handle having somebody push back on his beliefs, which is really sad because the Rogan I knew and loved used to welcome this sort of stuff. He loved it when he'd have somebody on to kind of spar with, go back and forth and learn with on the go, but now he just wants an echo chamber.
We heard Slow Joe rambling on about how he wants to have conversations with people he disagrees with and how he's...
Lols, Podcast Cringe calls Rogan Slow Joe, but in the Bappa verse, we call Brendan Schaub's wife Slow Joe.
He's just asking questions.
Big up my nuts.
So the internet can decide what's true and what's fake for themselves. Most of us already knew that whole shtick was complete bullshit, and Rogan prefers to sit in his ivory tower, guarded down by SEAL Team 6, looking down on us commoners with disgust from his booster chair covered in bubble wrap just in case a small particle floating through the air threatens his fragile ego by virtue of its very existence in his safe space. But if you are still on the fence about who Joe Rogan really is deep down inside, then surely this is all the evidence you needed. There are a few things in Joe's life that he claims to be an expert on. One of them is MMA, even though he's never had a professional fight in his life. Another is stand-up comedy, even though he's never told a funny joke in his life and bought his way into the comedy scene with his fuck you money from Fear Factor and Spotify. But over the last few years, Joe's picked up a new expert.
I don't think that's fair. I don't think he bought his way into comedy. He earned his stripes in comedy. He started off, not being really funny, and he's still not really funny, but still, he started off super, back in the day. Like, he's been doing comedy for he might be a 30 plus year stand-up comic. He's been in comedy for time. So I don't think it's fair to say he bought his way into it. He kind of obviously got famous outside of comedy first. That kind of helped his stand up as well. No, I think he got famous outside of comedy along the way of doing comedy, but I don't think he bought his way in comedy. I don't think that's a fair, representation, but I could be wrong.
In vaccinology and immunology, even though he's never stepped foot in a lab and believes Terrence Howard's theory that 1 × 1 = 2.
I understand it though.
I kind of understand
it. I understand.
I mean, it made sense.
Action
To
Bronson.
me, he's making me
sense.
believe.
But in the intro, I mentioned that there's more going on here than you think. You see, Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen moved to Texas earlier this year, and this is the first time they've appeared in Joe's studio since that move. There is so much backstory and lore here that most of you will know if you've been following my channels over the last couple of years, but basically, in a nutshell, Brendan and Brian's careers have been in free fall ever since Brian was accused of sexual misconduct by several women, dating all the way back to the 90s, and since Brendan Schaub embarked on a comedy career and then threatened violence against anyone who made fun of him, including a small innocent Asian boy named Bobby Lee, who has also been accused of sexually harassing morning show hosts on live television. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with these guys? And so moving to Austin, Texas was their last-ditch effort to save their podcast and revive Brian Callen's comedy career, which for the most part seems to be working. For Brian, that is, the podcast is beyond safe at this point. I mean, they're literally broadcasting from a storage unit next to a railway line. But in the 6 months they've been living in Austin, Rogan has not mentioned a word about them or invited them into the studio to help revive their failing careers. This live stream was the first time they've been back on JRE since leaving LA. Also,
And that's the one thing that I don't know. I guess because we're outside viewers and we just want answers. But I think if I was Brendan and Brian, I'd be a little bit like annoyed and confused about the relationship they have with Rogan now, because it seems like things have changed, but then they get invited onto, because I think the invitation on the show, because I think Joe treats the show like he treats his relationships in real life. I think if he's not cool with you in real life, he's never going to invite you on the show. He doesn't treat it like a business thing of like, even if you're not the bestest of friends, I'm going to have you on your show because it's going to benefit me, it's going to benefit you. I think he has to be cool with you. If he's not cool with you, you don't get in that show. So him inviting you on the show is a big stamp of approval for your relationships or friendship with Rogan in that time. So it must be confusing, because it feels like to us on the outside that the relationship between him and Brian, or maybe him and Brendan especially, isn't what it once was. But somehow Brendan still gets invited onto JRE. Yeah, I know it's part of the Fight Companion. The last time he went on Rogan by himself might have been like 2023, 2022 or something. So it's been a while. But still, he still gets invited on. So I wonder how that must make these guys feel. Like, do they know where they actually stand with Rogan? Or do they not care? I don't know. I'd be a little bit annoyed, because I'm a either or type of person. If you're my friend, you're my friend. If you're not, you're not. I don't like this in-between thing. You know, I don't like this friendship purgatory where I'm not really too sure where I am. It's like, no. Either we're cool or we're not. If we're not, it's fine. But if we are cool, let's go back to how it was before. Don't like change and treat me this other way. I'm not with that, because it's a bit odd.
Oh, don't forget, this isn't a normal episode of JRE. This was a live stream. No editing, everything stays in. Obviously, we all know that Rogan gets Jamie to turn the live chat off when Brendan Schaub comes on to protect him from the internet, but now it wouldn't surprise me if Rogan scraps the live streams altogether. Callan is known for fishing for viral moments when he's on Rogan. He's done it a dozen times before, and even though he's a massive creep who will probably never beat the allegations, you've got to give him credit for the subtlety with which he operates. He genuinely fools Rogan and baits him into arguing with him over and over again, knowing it will go viral just like this one did. That's why I'm saying this was definitely planned. I have no doubt that Callan was waiting for an opportunity.
I don't think it was planned. I don't think it's planned. Callan has very strong opinions about vaccines, because he's had arguments with Brendan about it too on Tfatk. They've had debates and arguments, even during the peak of COVID when they were running, which is odd, right? They were running around touring, doing meets and greets, and they probably inadvertently, I think, most likely, allegedly, probably were responsible for a couple of deaths out there. You would imagine, with the way that they were running around doing Tfatk at the time. And Brian was still pushing back on Brendan's, anti-vaccine type of rhetoric that he was on. You know what I mean? He was pushing for it, and Brendan wasn't. So I think Brian's always had these beliefs and these views. Rogan's also been very wedded to the belief that vaccines are bullshit ever since he went through what he went through. So I don't think this was planned. I just think it happened in a moment, but I don't think it was planned. I think they're both on opposite sides when it comes to vaccines, and naturally the debate was a debate turned into an argument.
Opportunity to get Joe going, knowing that it's a live stream and Joe has nowhere to hide. That's why Rogan got so frustrated, in my opinion, because he couldn't just turn around to Jamie at the end and say, delete the argument before you post this. This was just a...
Nah, I think he got angry because he couldn't convince Brian that he was talking out of his ass. They were both wedded to their ideas. They were both stubborn as each other. There was no understanding on either side. Rogan obviously was, but there was no willingness to try and meet each other in the middle, or gain your understanding or anything. That's why Rogan got upset. He got upset because he wasn't getting through to Brian, because Rogan thinks he's right. Rogan thinks he's the one that has all the answers, and he was getting pissed off because Brian was challenging him, which is obviously going to hurt his ego, and kind of questioning his beliefs and making it seem like he didn't know what he was talking about. But I don't think it was anything more than that.
Another Brian Callan publicity stunt, except he clearly forgot to tell Schaub about it.
Yeah. Being anti-vax.
No
one's anti-vax,
It's not anti-vax. Question why there's so many though.
No one's what I love the fucking disgust and shock when people that spew anti-vax rhetoric get called anti-vax. They get so offended. Like, why are you getting so offended when you're saying anti-vax shit? It's like, you can question vaccines, you can question anything you want. But when you're kind of, sounding like somebody that doesn't believe in vaccines at all, and you think they're all mind control, or it's all some sort of psyop and shit, people should call you out for it.
The kids are all vaccinated. And they're vaccinated, but they went on a delayed schedule. They delayed
so did
schedule.
Mine. So did mine. So did
You're
mine.
not?
Yeah, you're not. No.
Yeah, good for you.
Brendan lying there, by the way. I love the lie from Brendan. We'll find out later. Someone on Tfatk posted a thread that kind of showed that he's obviously lying. But yeah, that's definitely a lie. That Brendan's kids that aren't vaccinated. Number one, I would be surprised if you even knew they were vaccinated, right? Because I think you get vaccinated when you're super young, and when those kids are super young, Brendan was out on tour pretending to be a comedian, wasn't really at home. So there's probably stuff that happened that he probably wasn't aware of. And I just think nowadays in most schools, especially public schools, they wouldn't let a kid just be in school without being vaccinated because they'll put all the other kids at home. The only way it could happen is if maybe he got the papers forged, which I can understand happening too, because that happened during COVID, right? When COVID was happening and we had like those COVID travel passport things, there were some people that didn't want to get vaccinated who kind of falsified those passports to allow themselves to go on holiday. So I'm sure there are parents out there who also don't want their kids to be vaccinated, who run a sort of hustle where they give you like fake papers or something to show it like your kid got vaccinated. But I think his kids have got vaccinated, but I could be wrong.
I don't think you need to.
No, they're healthy as
Yeah.
Between the two of them, they have 12 touchdowns this week. 2 home runs.
That is 100% Brendan Schaub grade bullshit right there. I don't believe that Brendan's kids aren't vaccinated for a second. He totally just made that up on the spot to impress Papa Rogan. Brendan got all excited when Callan and Joe first started arguing, telling Joe to educate his ass.
And look at the Texas outfit too. The fucking Texas outfit to impress Rogan is what it's like. I don't know, man. There's not a single man on planet Earth that I think I would do this for. Like purposely get dressed up in a way to impress them. Like if essentially this is like Brendan's version of a girl wearing like low-rise jeans and their thong sticking out, right? Hoping to get some attention from the fellas, or wearing a fucking nice fucking, bra or something. Like this is preposterous. And again, they're friends. This will be more understandable if you're like a random like I am and you got a chance to go on Rogan. Maybe then you went to make an impression or something. It'll be way more understandable. It's still lame. It's still corny. But it'll be understandable for a random. You're Rogan's friend. You're probably one of his best friends too, Brendan, you'd imagine. They're really close friends. Like at some point you just have to treat him like a regular guy. You shouldn't be like that. You know what I mean? That enamored, that impressed, that fucking whatever. He turned up to his gig. He turned up to his fucking recording wearing all these fucking Texas merch. So fucking embarrassing. Like, grow up. 44-year-old man,
And the contrast was huge between Schaub kissing Joe's ass for 4 hours and agreeing with everything he said, compared to Brian pushing back and not letting it slide.
I think the problem is that the pharmaceutical drug companies have an exemption because of what they did in the 1980s with Reagan, where they allowed them to never worry about being sued. And that's when they ramped up the fucking schedule.
Look at autism. It's through autism.
Just one. There's a lot of other autoimmune issues. There's a lot of like serious problems.
I think there are 3 things that have pushed us beyond our biology, and the reason we don't have a lot of children dying: nutrition, sanitation, and vaccines. And I think anybody who says otherwise is, I think it's crazy.
But he's not saying all vaccines.
It sounds like he is.
This point was the best, by the way. This point was the best. Brendan steps in and tries to speak for Rogan in a way to try and suck his dick. Rogan completely ignores what Brendan says, attacks Callan. Perfect. This is really good. This is the best segment for me. He's not saying over the... Shut up, Brendan, man. Fucking hell. The way he sucks up to Rogan is so disgusting.
Brian, you don't know what the I'm saying. You don't.
Well, I know, because you don't want to talk about it.
Brian, I don't want to talk about it in the middle of a podcast because it'll completely derail the podcast. And I'll start showing you statistics. If you look at when people stopped getting all of these diseases, and then when the introduction of vaccines happened, it's at the end. Most of those diseases were eradicated by sanitation and nutrition.
I agree. But there's still pathogens that are very dangerous.
Sure there are. So the problem is that these pharmaceutical drug companies are insanely, entirely corrupt. They have been corrupt for a long time, and there's a revolving door between the FDA and these pharmaceutical drug corporations. And then they ramp up the schedule every year, and it's not about public health. None of it is about looking out for you. All of it is about making money. That's the problem.
Who wants to do some smelling salts?
Okai's good. This guy's good.
Who
So
wants to do some
lame.
smelling salts?
Shut up,
Chuck one
Brendan.
over here, Jamie. We got some?
All right, Brendan missed a repeat him joke, innit? Let's repeat it 2 times. Make sure somebody fucking heard it. Brendan, man. Ugh, fucking hell, honestly. So annoying, innit? So fucking annoying when he gets around Rogan. So fucking annoying. He probably doesn't lick his own dad's ass this much. So fucking cringe.
Where's Okai from?
From your mother's pussy.
Hey, that's out of line. Hey, that burn is too far.
By the way, if you hadn't noticed, juiced up jiu-jitsu legend Gordon Ryan has been sitting in the corner on Joe's side the whole time, just watching them going back and forth like a tennis match. And the funniest bit was when they pulled out the smelling salts, he asked the question I've been wondering about for years. Finally, someone questioned the JRE tradition of sniffing smelling salts for absolutely no reason while sitting in a studio for hours and hours talking into a microphone.
They're basically too pussy to do drugs. I may do it. I think I might do a Patreon actually. Maybe I'll do it on the Patreon. There's gonna come a point where we do a Patreon, maybe toward the end of the marathon. We'll do a Patreon where I'll just be live on air Patreon stream doing fucking bumps. I think I've seen people do it on Patreon actually. I'm pretty sure I saw somebody doing it on Patreon. Maybe not Kick, I don't want to get banned off Kick. But we're gonna do a stream where I'm gonna be taking a bunch of shots, taking a bumper bumps on the fucking stream. Now, I personally think if you're not doing it in that way, just fucking stream normally. Have your drink of water, have your energy drink, have your coffee. It's not that deep. But I think these guys are such losers, right? They're such adult babies that a way to like circumnavigate doing drugs is to like do the smelling salts thing. It kind of feels like they're doing coke or something. I don't know what it is. It's bizarre. Personally, it's bizarre. It worked that one time when they were doing it with fucking Joe Diaz. That seemed like a good moment to do it with. But overall, this tradition is just a bit strange. Just do proper drugs. Do you know what I mean? Fuck all this shit. Do proper fucking drugs. It's like vegans who eat fucking... It's like vegans who have like vegan hot wings, right? Like, fuck a vegan hot wing. Just be vegan. If you're going to eat a hot wing, eat a fucking hot wing. This in-between shit is horrible. If you're going to pretend you're sniffing something, at least sniff something properly.
It's supposed to wake you up?
Yeah, it'll wake you up. Guys that do it before they lift super heavy, go for
so I
like
know that.
PRs.
I think it spikes your adrenaline.
Just a party. Hey, just to get away from the vaccines before Rogan kills Brian. I brought it up. Feel bad.
I was hoping you right after he sniffed it, Brian was going to bring vaccines back up.
We'd get in shouting fights.
He used to tell me that vitamins weren't necessary.
Oh yeah.
Vitamins aren't necessary.
This is a fact.
I talked to a doctor. He told me the vitamins don't work. They don't do anything.
Yo, big up Odyssey's.
There's nothing like the high of intense kettlebell circuit after you've fasted on nothing but water and alpha brain and recover with dry-aged bow-hunted elk sausage.
Hold on, I've got to get my Streamlabs notifications up. One second. Let me darken the screen. Good point to Assad Aziz, right? And people in the stream chat, be honest, right? I'm getting something up. Bear me 1 second. Be honest. Be honest, people in the stream chat. Be honest. Before Rogan turned into a spur, before Rogan turned into a helmet, before Rogan turned into a dickhead, when he did used to talk about, you know, sets and reps, doing this cold plunge, 1 million runs, this workout, kettlebells, jiu-jitsu in the morning, jiu-jitsu in the night, jiu-jitsu in the sleep, were you not a little bit impressed back in the day? But then what shifted? Did we all just get older? Did we all just realize that it's just working out, bro? It's not that deep? Or did it just become lame? Like, what happened? Because what Sadazi says here is a good point. Like, when did it become funny? When did it become a point of ridicule to take the piss out of it? You know? Because there was a time where I was kind of impressed. I was like, wow, he's doing all this stuff, man. Shit, bro. He's doing all that fucking stuff. He's a fucking beast. He's an animal. But then you reach a point where you're like, okay, congratulations. You're having a really cold bath. Well done, bro. You know? You think you can cure a cold by swinging a kettlebell around, right? You'd love to jump in the fucking in the sauna and shit. Like, it's not that impressive. I wonder when it happened. When did it happen that we all collectively woke up to the idea that, is it really that impressive when somebody works out or nah? And with Rogan, it became a strong no. I wonder when it was. I wonder when the fuck it was.
It's me and him at a restaurant in Seattle. Brian, will you please shut the up?
Yeah, but then I started taking vitamins, and I called him up, and I go, dude, I feel great. He goes, can I know?
I wish you could go back in time and not take vaccines. You'd be like, why am I so healthy? I never got psoriasis. This is crazy.
I know for myself, I had a little bit of a like weird, I had a moment when I was like really at my peak, like physically and training wise. I was doing a bunch of shit, right? I was doing so much shit outside of fucking working out too. I was learning a bunch of languages, reading a million books, writing a bunch, drawing a bunch, just on it. And I remember that time, I think I felt a bit weird because I'd always get messages, especially from like friends, like people that I know, like, oh my God, man, I see you doing this, I see you doing that, man, it's so impressive. How can I do it? And I remember feeling like a bit weird, like, why are you messaging me like it's not really that impressive. I'm just doing the things I'm interested in. Like, I remember breaking down like that. It's like, no, I find this is of interest to me right now. It's important to me, working out. So I'm just doing it because it's somewhat important to me now. When it's important to you, you also end up doing it, but it's not really that deep, you know? I just do stuff that I like, that I enjoy, and that's it. But, you know, I felt like Rogan at one point, or those guys were like almost lionizing themselves. When really, when you look at it, it's not that impressive. All these guys don't work regular jobs, right? Most of these guys don't really look after their own kids. They have nannies and help and shit. They don't work a 9 to 5. They can basically do whatever they want, you know? Most of them work, maybe, I think most of these guys, with the exception of Rogan, they probably technically only work probably a minimum of like 5 hours a week, if that. 5 hours a week. So of course they've got all the time in the world to train twice a day, to fucking kettlebell swing, to cold plunge, because their wife is looking after their kids, the nanny's looking after their kids, they've got a home gym, they've got this and that. So is it really that impressive when, I don't know, Cam Hanes runs a half marathon every day? Not really. It's more impressive when a regular person does it. Is it really that impressive when David Goggin runs 700 miles and does 10,000 pull-ups? Not really. It's more impressive when a single mum does it, who has to fucking look after 3 kids on their own and shit, and is able to fit in workouts and all this. That's more impressive. But these guys wanting regular people to be impressed by their lifestyles when they're very privileged and have a lot more time on their hands because they don't have to work a regular 9 to 5 is very odd, isn't it? Like, they're almost seeking the validation and the praise from strange or from regular people, and regular people are way more impressive than they are.
Shut up.
Turns out I had autism the whole time.
I got my levels tested.
Dude, how was
my test?
Awesome, right?
The best.
So I just got my levels tested with Brigham. It was awesome, and I got stem cells. But my test is the lowest it's ever been.
We got Coyle. What's that? He didn't talk about all that lame stuff back in the day. When it was good, he would talk to a lead singer of garbage about nothing. The guest was up, made it. Oh yes. Oh my God, I missed that. What a great point. Do you remember the times that you have a guest on and they would talk about absolutely nothing but everything at the same time? Do you remember that? Do you remember when you have a guest on, they talk about absolutely nothing and everything at the same time? Now he has a guest on, and every guest he speaks about COVID. Every guest he speaks about fucking, maybe not Epstein now, but like Trump or whatever. Like, every guest get the same talking point. But in the past, he'd have somebody on and, like, I don't know, they'd be talking about what they do and whatever, but it'll be like a random topic about some random stuff happening in the news. Random topic, random interest. So it'll make you more interested in the person too. Because I think, in my personal opinion, I think the best interviews, really and truly, actually, especially with an artist, the best interviews are when you're interviewing somebody who you're not actually asking them specific questions about what they do. You're just talking in general, you know? I think those will make for the best interviews. Don't make for the best fucking interviews. And now Rogan turns all those interviews into fucking COVID conferences.
Which is $785, not bad for
That's
my age.
very good.
Not bad, right?
That's very good.
Yeah. Now my free though is low. It's like 45.
Ooh.
And she said it should be 151. But then I did a bunch of research. on ChatGPT with PubMed, and I talked to a couple other doctors at Well. They go, we don't want to put you on anything yet because we want to test because your magnesium is a little low. So they're going to put me on that because my test is really high.
Yeah, just take TRT and get it
hold on, bro.
No, he's right. Yeah.
So take
magnesium
TRT.
is huge.
Mike Israetel, who gave.
Great point, King Bayu. Great fucking point. Do you remember you used to discover new people from his actual guests because they would talk about their interests? Exactly. I remember there'll be times, right? I think I might have got my majority of my book recommendations. I used to always, all these fucking hundreds of books I got behind me, hidden behind this flag. I used to get most of my book recommendations from Rogan. Or from Tim Ferriss, actually. Tim Ferriss Show. Tim Ferriss Show, Rogan. And weirdly enough, what's his fucking name? The guy with the long hair, the guy with the fucking Ferrari in the garage. I think I actually might have got some of my first sort of business motivation books from him because he's got that. I think he's got a list of books, 100 books that you're meant to read. They were really good ones actually on there. But you get so many recommendations for books, documentaries to watch, other people to fucking follow, lectures to fucking view. Now it's just, man. It's really sad how shit the show is now. It's really kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie.
He told me. I said, if I wanted to get huge, give me the steroid
Not
stack.
possible.
And he goes, you don't mind if your liver becomes styrofoam? I go, just fucking hit.
Big up Asad Aziz. I love this. Big up Asad Aziz. I love fucking this. I love this. I love this. We are seeing the long-term effects of marijuana on stand-up comedy. Joe now has a one-track mind. He's stuck on a loop and living in the bliss of it. So accurate.
Hit me with it.
What was he talking? DECA and all that
He's
shit?
got his PhD.
He's telling you to take DECA and everything?
Well, and also he's on everything.
Oh, yeah. Have you had him on? He's hilarious. Oh, I love that guy.
Rumour has it that Brendan's still waiting for an answer about the DECA, but all jokes aside, which isn't really that hard on JRE, can we just sit back and appreciate the blatant hypocrisy coming out of Brendan Schaub's face? He's the first one to jump on Rogan's dick when it comes to all the vaccine talk, but when it comes to taking anabolic steroids, he casually peer pressures Brian into going on TRT when his own doctors are recommending he boost his magnesium levels first. It's like listening to Tony Hinchcliffe ranting about excess death rates since 2021 while puffing on a British cigarette in Rogan's studio. These guys couldn't even spell the word hypocrisy if they tried, yet they carry it in bucket loads everywhere they go. It was only a couple of weeks ago that Brian low-key trolled Brendan on their podcast by getting their producer Chin to pull up the life expectancy of MMA fighters and NFL players while Brendan sat there squinting at the screen, realizing in real time that his days are numbered.
If that happens, Unique's gonna have a party, mate. If Brendan's days are numbered, Unique is gonna have a fucking party. Unique is gonna have a fucking party. But yeah, big up Podcast Cringe. That's the video. Joe Rogan gets called out and has a meltdown. Really, really good analysis there. I don't agree with him that it was some Machiavellian plot by fucking Callan to stir the pot and go viral. I don't think they're that conniving. I think at most, these guys, at most, the planning that they do, especially in Brian's case, is to shill any sponsor they have, overly promote and shout out their fucking dates, and of course, the wearing of the merch. That fucking t-shirt that Brian was wearing, I have no doubt that archetype boxing, whatever, was definitely somebody that gave him money under the table to say, hey, wear this t-shirt. Not on the table, just gave him a little brown envelope, I'd imagine, and just said, hey, wear this t-shirt for me to promote my fucking boxing gym. And I think they've done it in the past. I think every Fight Companion appearance, there's probably some shirt that Callan has that's promoting some sort of gym. I'm pretty sure. Some sort of gym, some sort of supplement. I'm pretty sure Callan takes that stuff, because he seems like the type of person to do the type of deals anyway. So I think that's the most that they do. They might have a point that they want to share. They might have something they want to shield. They might have dates that they want to promote. But I don't think they come on this show with the sole intention of going viral by stirring the pot by talking about certain things. I don't think that's the case, personally. I don't think so. But I could be wrong. I think Podcast Cringe read into that a little bit too much. But overall, really, really good analysis, really good video. So big up him for that. And again, like I said, just another reminder of just how far Rogan has fallen, in it. And it's gotten to the point now where, like, people, myself included, you're kind of embarrassed to admit you even need to listen to him. I don't listen to him anymore that much, anything, because I can't remember the last show. Actually, maybe the last pod. Shit, I think the last podcast I actually listened to in full from the beginning to the end was the Fight Companion. I'm pretty sure. Most I kind of bail out in the middle or I skip around. But I used to listen to it religiously every time the episode would drop. I listened to the whole thing. Now I don't really, which again is probably the best indictment, the best, you know, kind of example of just how far that pod has fallen. Because, you know, I consume a lot of fucking content, obviously, unfortunately, because of all this shit that I do, but also just because I'm interested in it. And I choose to not listen to Rogan because it's just not that good anymore. It's fucking garbage, the show, unfortunately. And it mostly has to do with Rogan. Even though the guests aren't as great because he's in Austin and shit, I think the reason why JRE is not as good as it once was is mostly to do with Rogan. Because he still gets good guests on, but he fucking wastes them by shouting at them or lecturing them about fucking COVID and shit all the time. It's fucking annoying, man. It really is fucking annoying. But big up Podcast Cringe. Big up Podcast Cringe. Check out his channel. That's the video. Sorry, I forgot to show you. That's the video. Joe Rogan has a meltdown. It's called out, sorry, and has a meltdown. Courtesy of Podcast Cringe Bites. Give him a like. Subscribe to his channel. He does good stuff. He does great stuff, actually. Not good stuff. He does great fucking stuff. Big up Podcast Cringe. Big up Podcast Cringe. And just a reminder, if you're watching this and you're liking what you're seeing what you like, don't be stingy. Like the stream. Subscribe to the channel. Like the stream. Subscribe to the channel. Like the stream. Subscribe to the channel. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Let's get back to the show. So let's fucking bounce around and see what's happening on the Fire and the Kid Reddit. What have we missed out on? So I wanted to touch upon actually the vaccine shit. So obviously Brendan mentioned, sorry, that his kids aren't vaccinated. Well, somebody on the Fire and the Kid Reddit posted this. Let's check it out. Big up this person, right? I'm not too sure if this is true or not, but let's just check what they posted. Anti-vax or anti-truth? Obviously, Brendan said his kids aren't vaccinated in that debate where Brian and Rogan were going back and forth. And like Podcast Cringe mentioned, I think Brendan just mentioned that to get on Rogan's good side. But I don't think there's a shot that his kids aren't vaccinated, especially now these kids go to public school. Maybe when they're in private school in LA, I can see that happening. But still, I think in most places, most schools, it's kind of, mandatory that your kids get vaccinated. But let's see what this person says. The caption says, a very simple Google search would disagree with brain dumb. Even in Texas, your kids need vaccines. Believe you and me, the autism rate definitely went up when all the comedians moved to Austin. If Redax says they have a medical exemption when he has two beasts of an athlete chombies, I'm going to bust. Big up NJ Ranger.
Joe used to get heat for just getting baked and not talking. Yet it led to some great interviews. Better than Boomer Facebook/Twitter greatest hits.
Oh my god, do you remember that? I forgot about it. Do you remember that? Do you remember people used to get pissed off that Rogan would get too stoned and he wasn't engaged or wasn't asking enough questions or wasn't pushing back enough? Now people are like, hey, could you maybe not invite people on this show who are just gonna fucking espouse your same fucking talking points? Can you maybe push back on your friends or people that agree with you and less on people that don't agree with you, please? Can you hold them to less of a high standard? Holy shit, man. Holy shit. Big up NJ Ranger. Such a good point. I forgot about that, man. That was a real thing. But let's read what this person said. So he posted the required immunization for school entry in Austin, Texas, I'm assuming, right? Please bring the child's immunization records with your time of registration. Students entering transitional kindergarten to kindergarten need to have the following: tetanus, pertussis, diphtheria, polio shots, Hep B shots, measles, mumps, rubella, varicella. Jesus, students transferring from entering TK to K-12, all immunizations listed above. Students starting from 7th grade need records of tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis. However you say that word, pertussis. So obviously showing that your kid needs to be vaccinated. California law requires most individuals to be vaccinated against certain diseases. However, there are a few exemptions under certain circumstances. Medical exceptions, individual medical exemptions can be religious exemptions, personal belief exemptions, other exemptions, process. Okay, cool. Process obtaining To obtain a medical exemption, parents or guardians must contact their licensed physician. The exemption form must be submitted to the school and healthcare provider. So again, did Brendan get his kids an exemption? I don't think so. I don't buy it. 2025 Texas minimum state vaccine requirements for students K to 12, which is what Brendan's kids will be, right? Kindergarten to grade 12. It's got all the standard requirements here, as you can see. Hep B, polio. There's loads of ones, right? Meningocola, how do you say it? Meningocola, hepatitis A, hepatitis B, polio, diphtheria, tetanus. Yeah, so there's not a chance, basically, vis-a-vis this fucking information. There's not a chance in hell that Brendan's kids are going to be allowed to enter a Texas public school without being immunized. It's not going to happen. It's not going to fucking happen. Not going to fucking happen. So big up this person for revealing the truth. Big up this random person for revealing the truth. Okay, let's do another one. What's this one? Let me ask you a question, Rogan.
Well, let me ask you a question, Mr. Joe Rogan, Mr. Scientist. Are you saying that we shouldn't
Don't do that. Don't call me Mr. Scientist. I'll start mocking you, and it's so much easier to mock you.
When you see someone moving around like that on stage, I will bet you every penny I have they're not funny.
Who was that guy? That's the guy from fucking something and few. What's that? I forgot that comedian. That comedian who fucking started trashing store humping to Rogan's face, not knowing that Rogan is a fucking prolific store humper, was brilliant, isn't it? That's fucking brilliant. That was fucking brilliant. He was tearing into sucking stool like it's the lowest form of comedy. If you do that, you're a hack. He was destroying stool humping, and Rogan was just sitting there. Like trying to not get hurt. Hold on, let me take off the sound. I don't want to get copyright strike. Sorry, YouTube's annoying.
Anytime I saw someone miming having sex, pumping air,
yeah,
I would just go, not funny.
No. Stool fucking, if it's the right bit, can be funny.
Oh, really, dude?
It has to be a real comic with a real reason. Really, dude? Stool fucking, if it's the right bit, can be funny. Oh, really, dude? Right bit. If it's the right stool fucking, if it's the right bit, can be funny. Oh, really, dude? Stool fucking, if it's the right bit, can be funny. Oh, really, dude? It has to be a real comic with a real reason to fuck that stool. There has to be something to it.
Why do you do that? It looks off, right? This is gay. That's all. That's it.
If the content is about your physicality,
right,
that's not dancing. Screw.
R.I.P. Ozzy Osbourne. R.I.P. Ozzy Osbourne. Black Sabbath forever. R.I.P. Ozzy Osbourne. Black Sabbath forever.
That we don't need.
I'm not that retarded. Look fucking stupid.
I would never disrespect the crowd.
Jesus, what was that? Was it him sucking a dick? What was that there? Was him sucking a dick? What was that him getting spit roasted or something? What the fuck was he doing, bro? Yo, give me a new mic. Whoever comes up behind him, imagine you're the comedian that comes after him. Give me a new mic, bro. Give me a new mic. Give me a new fucking mic. Look at how his ass is tooted as well. Looks like he's got a little bit of a BBL there, isn't it? Look how bad. Look at his arch. Brent, do you think Rogan practices at home, like arching his back, head down, arch his back and shit? Do you think he does that? Do you think Rogan practices at home, looks up in the mirror and bends down and has his face on the floor, just to see what the arch is saying? Like, why is he sucking the microphone like that?
I would never disrespect the crowd.
You have a gun?
Yeah, big up Silas.
This is comedy. You pedestrians wouldn't get it.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus Christ. Like, everything he's doing is gayer than gay sex, isn't it? On God, everything this man's doing right now is gayer than any gay sex act you could actually do. This is gayer than any gay sex you could actually do. Everything he's doing right now.
Well, you wouldn't have to disrespect it. You would just have to want to do it and then try it.
And I'm sure if a gay guy saw this bit, they'd be interested. Their interest would be piqued. They'd be like, this person's sending some signals, you know? If a gay guy sat in a crowd and saw and watching Rogan do his special or doing his routine, they'd think Rogan was like, you know, sending a little dog whistle, a little bat signal, you know? He was putting out the feelers because, you know, like he's kind of good at store humping too. He's a little bit too good.
Oh my God, no, oh my God, no. I'm not that funny, man. I need some help.
Can you imagine the porn that Rogan's interested in? Can you imagine the porn that Rogan watches? Can you imagine? Can you imagine the porn that Rogan must watch? It must be so X-rated. He must be into some heavy shit. Goon room heavy, you know? He probably has a goon room too. I'm sure he's definitely got a goon room.
All right, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Big up Jersey. Yeah, exactly. Muscle chicks with feet shit. There's one I remember seeing, right? That was like disturbing. I think it's like a muscular girl and like really strong. Yeah, that's it. Really strong. Having the guy in a headlock, like close, like passing out. He's like face is red and jacking him off. I was like, oof. Fucking hell. That's definitely a kink. That's definitely a niche. Like she was super jacked. She's like proper headlock, and like he was like about to pass out. Because I think people like doing that, right? Where they like they choke themselves about they're passing out and shit. I think people do that with like belts and shit. They choke themselves and then like fucking yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I think so. What do I know? Or let's see here. What do we have? Straight murderer. Triggered. Yeah, straight. Look at that. Triggered. He looks like a fucking demon there, doesn't he? Demon. Yeah, look at this, by the way. Look at this. Ongoing investigation. So you guys remember that TMZ leaked the announcement that Brendan had become an athlete. Brendan had become a brand ambassador for Fat Joe's hair dye thing, right? Called Rewind It. And you know, he had a box, whatever, with his face on it and shit. But it didn't go anywhere. We didn't see it on the Instagram, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if he's on there now. Rewind it. It wasn't on their Instagram. They didn't have the listing of his hair dye on their website. And it seemed like they were avoiding putting Brendan on the fucking timeline because the comments were so harsh, right? But it looks like maybe it's not true. It looks like maybe it was a bit premature and it's actually coming out at some point because this random person on the Tfatk Reddit got in touch with the Rewind It people via DMs. Said the following: do you have the medium Brendan Shaw box still? They said yes we do. Link please. And they got sent a link that showed that Adrian Brody guy, right? So Brendan's hair color is the same, or Brendan's hair dye color is the same version as this Adrian Brody guy, or whatever his fucking name is. And then of course the person says, no, I don't want that. I want the Brendan one. I'm a Brendan Shaw fan, so I actually wanted his box. Thanks anyway. And then they linked to it on eBay. They linked to so they don't sell it on their official site, but they sent this guy a link to buy it on eBay. And he said, thanks. And then they replied back and says, just curious, why not on the website? they said goes live tomorrow. So allegedly tomorrow, which might be today, there should be a link to buy Brendan Schaub's, which if it does, I'm going to buy a few. I'm definitely buying a few for the back. I'm definitely buying a few for the back for the display. I definitely might buy a few and put them on there as a display for sure. Every time I stream, I have them available. But let's see, are they available to buy just yet? Let's see. Shop Beard. No Brendan there so far. Let's see, new to old. New to old, yeah, still no Brendan. Still no Brendan. Still no Brendan there. Let's go shop hair. Maybe it's the hair one. Let's go new to old. And still no Brendan. So he's not live just yet. He's not live just yet, but it's meant to be soon. It's meant to be soon. No. Big up Assault Disease. I'll be ordering one just for the box. Don't need the product though. Mine grows in black. Exactly. Big up Assault Disease. Mine grows in black. So yeah, I'm curious to see what's happening, because one of the suggestions is that the reason why they never put Brendan's box available to purchase, right? One of the suggestions is that maybe because Brendan's been dyeing his hair blonde recently. So maybe that's why they decided not to put him as a brand ambassador, because he kind of, fucked over the contract or some shit. But I don't think that makes sense. It's strange though that he's advertising hair dye when he's bleaching his hair, but still, it is what it is. But I'm really looking forward to seeing this pan out and to see the comments when it does officially launch. I'm really curious to see, because let's see, did they have any comments on the Fat Joe one? Was there any bad comments on there? Legendary UFC fighter and great guy. Rewind is growing. Great guy, we need a beard border. Oh, is that it? Let's see the hidden comments. Let's look at that. I think they're deleting comments, I think they're deleting comments. Let's see the hidden comments. Hidden comments. Niggas scared and shamed to get old. I'm not dyeing my grey. Okay, that's it. Not that many bad comments, it looks like. Not that many bad comments. So maybe that's a good thing. But anyway, that's that one. Another one. Can't have this woke. Can't have this anymore because of woke. Rogan spreading his legs, ego on the fucking stool. There's no joke that Rogan has that would ever warrant this position, isn't it, right? There's not a single joke Rogan has that would make him doing what he's doing there make sense. Not a single one. Like, why are your legs up like that? Why are you moaning? Why are you closing your eyes? What's going on right now? Jesus Christ. Somebody ordered a dry fossil gas hat. The finish is really bad, by the way. Not good spacing here. The finish on the letters is bad. And it's a white hat as well. That's going to get dirty so quick, but hey, enjoy yourself. Was that Hugh Jackman? Canelo v Crawford this Saturday, huge fight. Unfortunately, it's the only big fight in the card. That's boxing blueprint. UC can't follow the lead, I beg you. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. That's it on that one, and then we're gonna move on to Two Bears One Cave. Oh, actually, let's do some comedy. This is some comedy. I saw her on my feed recently and I thought, you know what, I remember this girl. She's the one that got fucking trashed because she had a spurg out on the stage, right? And then I went to go check her latest video, Natalie CUOMO, and look at one of her videos. Look at this. This is on her own channel. Look at the dislikes. 375 dislikes to 209 likes. Like, gee, what the fuck is she saying? That's so bad. So she says 5 minutes of crazy. Natalie CUOMO stand-up comedy. So let's see what she's talking about. Big up Natalie CUOMO. Let's see, because it seems like even her own fans aren't fans of her. Even her own fans aren't fans of her stand-up. Let's see what I want.
I do have a lot of tattoos. Anyone here have tattoos? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
People always ask me what they mean. It's just the number of tattoos I have. It's the number of times my mom was like, you'd be way more beautiful without those. Like, she hates them, but she wants me to have a kid. That makes no sense. Kids are just like tattoos, okay? Right?
How?
Yes, they're permanent, expensive, painful. Everyone can tell if you did a bad job. You get one. You show everyone a picture, they pretend to care. And 18 years later, it looks like shit, but you have a story to tell. So.
These sound like Reddit jokes, isn't it? These sound like something somebody wrote somewhere on a forum or something, or Twitter jokes. These sound like Twitter jokes, actually. That's what they sound like. Snarky Twitter jokes.
Everyone's asking me when I'm going to have a kid because I got married a year ago.
Who married her? Who's she married to? Really? Someone married this lady. Fair play. Natalie, what's that? Natalie CUOMO. Husband? Yeah, husband. Dan Lamorte is a unique comedian not only because he's the autism spectrum. Because what? She married some what? Well, you can kind of tell he's got autism from the picture there, and he's a little bit whatever. After severe injury ending his basketball career prematurely, he weighed 175 kilograms at 23, but in 3 years lost over 90. So this is the husband, right? Okay, cool, man. That's him, Dan Lamorte. I don't know. He doesn't look like the guy you expect her to be with, innit? It's almost like he looks similar to like AOC's husband. It's like, you wouldn't expect AOC to be with someone like that. You wouldn't expect her to, you know what I mean? He doesn't look like somebody. I don't know if that makes sense. He doesn't look like the person you'd expect her to be with, if that makes sense. But they look like they're in love. That's a nice wedding picture there. Fair enough. But yeah, okay, fair play. Big up Dan Lamorte. Big up, what's this? My mum hates my tattoos. Okay, cool. Big up them then. Big up the happy couple.
Thank you, guys. Who here is married? Married a lot for New York. This is impressive. Yeah, my husband's amazing. His name's Dan. It's just my ex is
The Dan, big up Koila. He does have autism. He has a hedge fund. Exactly.
Also named Dan. And I had a tattoo of my ex's name. Isn't that so awful? I know. I got it covered up, but if I had just waited. I did get a second Dan tattoo. It says second Dan. I got it on my wrist, so if anything happens, I'll just off myself. I got it 2 weeks into us dating as a surprise. Is anyone else crazy? Yes, thank you. No, I called him. I was like, I got a tattoo of your name. I'm crazy. Then he proposed. He's like, I'm crazier. Yeah, it's fine. He's so good for me because, like, whenever I'm manic, he hides the scissors in our house. And it's not that he thinks I'm gonna hurt myself. He's just worried I'm gonna give myself bangs.
People are having a good time in the crowd, isn't it? Like, okay, like I keep saying, like, stand-up is such an interesting profession because this sounds really bad to me. This doesn't sound funny to me at all. This sounds kind of painful, to be honest. But there's a lot of giggles, a lot of laughs in the track. There's not a fake laugh track. People in there look like they're having a good time. They look like they're attentive. You know? Stand-up has to be one of those things that you just have to witness in person, I think. You get put into a spell from the time you walk in, the smell of the place, the drinks, the finger foods, the company, the lighting. I think it all contributes to kind of putting you in some sort of trance, in some sort of spell. And you end up liking something that you probably shouldn't be liking, you know?
Yeah, he had a terrible hiding spot, okay? He was home when I found them. I was like, just leave me alone. I was begging him for the scissors. I was like, please, I'm just gonna make a collage. The collage was just hot girls with bangs. I am in therapy, though. Are we in therapy here? Yeah. I have 2 therapists. They don't know about each other. I see a guy and a girl. I want both perspectives. You're looking at me like I'm crazy. You're right. No, I am worried they're gonna find out.
We got Koila. Finger foods and chicken burgers are banned language, mate. You guys will not let go, not let me live down the chicken burger thing, innit? But we call them that in the UK. No one says chicken sandwiches, honestly. You guys will not let that go. You keep reminding me of the fucking chicken burgers thing, honestly. Fucking hell. We got Koila.
About each other. Like, what if I show up to the Zoom session, they're kind of snuggled up, you know? They're like, so Natalie, you thought we didn't know? The woman's like, come on, give us equal pay. No, I'm a feminist. I pay the guy way less. Thank you. Yeah, it's great. I do like the woman better. She said
First yawn of the stream. Is it a coincidence that the first yawn of the stream happened during a Natalie Cuomo set? Is that a coincidence? The first audible yawn from me on stream happened during a Natalie Cuomo set. I think not. No coincidence.
Powerful bunch.
Big up Asadices.
The comic is the shepherd bee guiding the flock. The flock gotta dig on him though. Shepherd gotta dig on him too. Drive fast, all gas, buy the merch.
Big up Asadices.
sends me like nice little YouTube videos, right? Like last week she sent me this video and it was like how to hug yourself. I thought that was nice, but then I was like, wait, does she know I have a vibrator? I do. I have like a bit of OCD, you know? Anyone have OCD here? Yeah, it's so like whenever I leave the house, I get so anxious I didn't lock the door. Like I try my doorknob so many times, I think I'm just loosening it for criminals to get in. I had to have my handyman come over and tighten the doorknob. It was so embarrassing. He's like, what happened here? It's like, it seems like we have a screw loose. I'm like, yeah, emotionally and structurally. But now I take photos of like my stove being off, so I don't have to check it. And my whole camera roll is just stoves, doors, photos of my husband's penis. It's fine. It's just I'll be relaxing on the couch months later, and iPhone puts together a slideshow. With music. It's like 40 photos of stoves. And one penis. Do you guys like dirty jokes?
Yes.
Okay. Have you guys ever thrown up on a penis? Wow, okay, so we're pussies in here. That's fine. It's okay. I did accidentally. I threw up on my husband's penis, and I know it wasn't even about him though. It was like an OCD thing. I was like, I just need to deep throat 4 times. So my mom doesn't die. And it worked, you guys. She's still with us.
Hey man, people having a blast, isn't it? People are having a blast. So I think I'll leave it there before I send some of you guys over the edge and outside of your windows or into oncoming traffic, right? I'll leave it right there just in case some of you guys get any ideas to do something drastic to yourselves, all right? I don't want that to happen on my watch, so I'm going to leave it there. But check back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have some more content. We'll go through every bit of Natalie Cuomo's library because I'm fascinated by her. I'm fascinated by how objectively terrible she seems to be at stand-up. I'm fascinated by how much people in the room seem to be enjoying it despite me saying it's objectively bad. I'm fascinated by her overall enthusiasm for stand-up, even though she's really bad at it. She seems to be really having a good time on stage. That she's smiling. She seems to be having a vibe. So I'd love to know what she sounds like in her own head. I'd love to know what the people in the audience think they hear when they're listening to her. And I wonder where the disconnect is. Do I need to be in a room too? Do I need to get some tattoos? Do I also need to have my own hedge fund manager husband to enjoy it? I don't know. I'm curious. She fascinates me somehow. I don't know why. Because she's fucking terrible. But she seems to be pretty successful. She seems to have a decent following and the crowd seems to enjoy it. But it's really bad. I wonder why. As you can tell from the ratio, we're not the only people that think that. I'm not the only person that thinks that. Look at that ratio. That's fucking brutal on her own channel. Like, that's not like a regular, that's not like a random comedy channel, fair enough. But on her own channel, people are saying this. What are the comments saying? What are the comments saying? Look me in the fuck eyes. LMFAO. Don't dish it out if you can't take it. An excited Natalie on her stream told me to come and comment here, doing it for the bangs. Sensible chuckles. Hilarious. Thank you for uploading. I'm too scared. Okay. She probably deletes a lot, innit? She probably deletes some. Great. Yeah, I think she deletes comments because these comments are too good. I think she's the deleter of comments. Can't wait to see you in September. Freaking killer set. Such a vibe. Looks like you went to the dollar store and put a bunch of stickers all over yourself. Okay, there's one hate. 5 minutes of crazy isn't enough. High end. What did she say about that? What did she reply to about that? I love you. This was awesome. I loved it. I would see you live, but I'm afraid to get crowd worked. Super funny. Well done, Natalie. Funny stuff. That was the loudest yes I've ever heard for a dirty joke. True. You rocked it in Orlando. Thank you. Love you, Nat. Glad to hear your new jokes. Yeah, I think she deletes comments, man. I think she deletes comments. When is the hour special coming to Netflix or HBO? Wow, I think she definitely deleted some constructive criticism. Your enunciation needs improvement. I could not understand some of the jokes because I could not hear what you were saying in the punchline, even after rewinding on YouTube. Okay. Really? What the fuck is going on? Is that true? John Jones is not retired, wants to fight. Fucking hell, this guy, man. Anyway. Big up John Jones. Always a fan, please drop the S song. Okay. Cool, man. Yeah, I think she definitely deletes comments. Definitely deletes comments. But hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. Let's do another one quickly. Let's do an Abba and Preach. And then we'll go to Two Bears, One Cave. IG model tries escaping accountability. Let's see what's happening with Abba and Preach on this one.
Early in the morning on August 10th, 2024, officers in Miami.
Actually, let me pause quickly. Let me go get a drink. Drink break. Let me quickly go get a drink. Let me quickly go and get a little drink. One sec. While we're here, let's give some membership. I'm back now. Let's give some memberships. While we're here, I forgot. Let me give some memberships. I've got my new allowance. A new allowance every month. I get, I think, 10. Give the membership. Let's give some memberships. There we go. 5. There you go. Have some of that. Congratulations, those of you that get gifted a little membership there. Okay. Congratulations. You get access to member-only live streams, member-only videos. So congrats, freaking grats. Okay, cool.
Powerful bunch.
I'll let the fucking announcements go through. Then we continue. Yeah. Let me just let the announcements go through if we continue. Big up everybody. Big up everybody. Congrats to who? Mr. Studio
Powerful
Girl.
bunch.
Congrats to Cruise Control. Congrats to Joe Smith. Congrats to Old Man Tibber. Yep, congrats. Let me just let it play out, then we continue pressing play. Bear me.
Powerful bunch.
Couple seconds, and we'll continue. Let it play, okay? Couple seconds. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. Let's go. No problem, Old Man Tibber. Happy to help, my friend. Happy to help. Let's go. Is that it? I think it's all done now, right? Yeah, it's all done. Okay, let's continue.
Miami, Florida arrived to the scene of a high-speed collision.
What about this driver? Is he responding?
Hey, he dead in the car. There's two of them dead.
No. Hold on a second.
Jeez, they dead.
Señora, ¿tú estabas manejando? Miami, I also have a possible 18, and they have, I think it's a female on the ground. They're holding her because she wanted to flee the scene. I need extra help here, and I think I have 2 in the vehicle that have passed away.
I think somebody explained to me before, but it's so unfair, innit? I think I remember asking a question aloud, like, why is it all the time whenever there's a car accident like this where somebody's drunk or under the influence and they crash into somebody, why is it never the person that's high and drunk that dies? And I think somebody said it was the unexpected nature of it or something, right? Like when the other person gets hit, like I think it was something to do with the force, like the force of you being hit, the force of you being the car that gets hit into, as opposed to you being the car that's doing the hitting is stronger, and the unsuspecting nature of it all. So sad, man. So fucking sad. It's so sad. You're doing nothing wrong. You're minding your business, and then some fucking idiot, some fucking irresponsible idiot crashes into you, and then your whole entire fucking life changes.
Block is on the corner. Are you okay? On the corner. Get blocked. Okay? Get blocked. I know they entered the heaven. I know it's in the crystal. The crystal.
What the fuck? Is that her
I
screaming?
thought she was speaking Spanish at first.
No, that person's a goner.
She said, I know it's a crystal. It's in the crystal.
I know it's in the crystal. The crystal.
It's in the crystal.
That crystal meth, boy. That's one thing I've never done, actually. I've never done meth. Happy I haven't, to be fair. I've never done meth, but for some reason meth definitely makes you scatty, innit? Makes you fucking crazy. Like everyone that is on meth is always fucking like it's fucking wild meth. Like I don't know why it has that effect on people, but it makes people sound really fucking loopy.
I know the answer to heaven.
I know the answer to the crystal.
I know the answer.
Meth.
Herkimer Diamond in New York. Herkimer Diamond in New York. Calm down, lady. Herkimer Diamond in New York. Herkimer Diamond in New York. You're gonna get some help now. Calm down. Oh my God. Herkimer Diamond in New York. I just got here. I gather some.
Jesus Christ. The things police officers see. The things police officers see.
You have a gun?
Big up.
Same reason you can take a beating when are drunk.
Okay. Big up everyone to this. I get the analogy. I get the I get it. I really do get it. We got Abe Martinez. That's brilliant. Big up Bo Jackson's. Usually the one that strikes the other vehicle. The alcohol loosens them up and they rolled with a crash as they opposed to stiffing and bracing like a sober person would. Oh, big up Bo Jackson. Big up Coiler. Beer and ice and fund. Exactly, beer and ice. When Coiler says ice, he doesn't mean ice cubes, by the way. When Coiler makes ice, or when Coiler says ice, he doesn't mean ice cubes.
Yeah, she trying to jump into somebody else's car. Yeah.
We get an officer.
Officers will later identify this woman as Macy Lathers, a self-proclaimed Instagram model and alleged companion in the club scene of Miami.
Companion just means escort. Shit, there's always new names coming up for these.
So she's not like a. I thought that's a homeless person. I thought that's a homeless person or something. She's like a. Well, I guess she could still be a homeless influencer, but I didn't know she's homeless. I didn't know she's a model or whatever. Like she's a regular girl. I thought she was somebody that was, you know, on the fringes of society. Fuck.
These broads, that's crazy.
Grab her because she's under the influence of something.
Fucking hell, look at those eyes. That's some good shit, bro. That's some good shit, innit? That's wherever she's on, I want some of that. Fuck you. Look at look at how dark her nostrils are. Look at that black holes. Fucking hell. Drugs, man. Drugs are really bad for you, innit? Like, cause she looks scary there, bro.
Oh my God.
Drugs. Apparently there's already 2 people.
Either she's under the influence of something or, psychosis.
Probably influence of something if you're in Miami. There's a lot of drug users over there. Funny detail about this.
Take me to Miami. Take me to Miami.
Apparently this girl was on Fresh and Fit.
No way. No way. No way. She was on Fresh and Fit. No fucking way. Holy fucking shit.
And when she said at the beginning she just arrived on the scene, that means they're really dead.
Yeah.
Because she looked in, she didn't even try to do nothing. She's already on the suspect.
The light had just for us to go.
So you were behind him?
Black truck came.
Not to ask a weird question here. This is probably self-explanatory. But I think I've only seen a dead body once before. But I was like under shrubs back in the day when I was a kid in the park. I think some other kids found it and then, you know, obviously got reported to police and shit. But I'd imagine if you're on the scene of a crime or an accident, it's probably really easy to tell when somebody's dead in it, right? Because they make a good point. The officer didn't even go to check. She didn't even go check. She just looked and she was able to see. It's probably really easy to see if somebody's dead in it. Like you can just tell. Okay, cool, they're dead. You know? Fuck, man. Fuck. RIP those people.
And
that black car might have been her car or the...
No, she was in the white.
So according to this witness, this girl's the victim. And it's a black car that hit her and then hit a bunch of people.
Wow, so she wasn't even the one that caused the accident. I'd never heard of this. She wasn't even the one that caused the accident. She was high while she was driving, but somebody else crashed into her and oh my God.
Dale, si no vieron lo que pasó, vete. Si vieron, que se queden. The problem is half the people, when I was asking, they said they didn't see anything. ¿Tú dices lo que pasó? No, mi hermano.
See, a lot of those people are construction workers, and one thing in Miami is that construction workers, a good chunk of them, especially on those big, tall skyscrapers downtown, are all illegals. Like a huge chunk of the workforce. So a lot of them are going to be very reluctant to talk to anybody.
What'd you take?
2C pink.
2C.
2C does that to you. 2C does that to you. Holy shit. 2C does that to you. 2C. God damn, bro. God damn. Yo, big up Ashley Cummings in the chat. Big up Ashley Cummings in the chat. Well, go on, princess.
I don't know what that is. I know Drewski.
2C, I'm almost certain is like a new form of cocaine. I've heard of this 2C thing a few times.
The body in that car in the back seat.
I think Abba's had some. Abba's saying, right? Abba's saying that he's heard about it. The way he said it with his lips, where his lips moved, that sounded like somebody has done it. He pretended he's heard about it, like you know David Pacman. You know that clip of David Pacman pretending he can't pronounce APAC? Is it IPAC? EPAC? Right? That's like how he did. That was a he knows what that is.
I know Druski. 2C, I'm almost certain is like a new form of cocaine. I've heard of this 2C thing a few times.
You heard? You've heard, my nigga. You've heard or you've sampled?
The body in that car, in the back seat, it looks like a 45, yes.
It's possibly the offender? No. The witness told me that he was behind the Mercedes and that the black car had run the red.
¿Tú estabas manejando?
No.
Ok, ¿quién estaba en el carro contigo?
Mi novio.
Ok, tu novio. ¿Nada más dos personas?
Y una de atrás.
Y uno de atrás. Ok, ¿tú estabas adelante?
Y el otro señor que iba a trabajar.
¿Y ustedes vieron algo?
Sí, porque yo estaba en el semáforo y cuando vinieron de repente, y yo agarré o sea, le digo que se calme porque su esposo creo que se ya somos compañeros de trabajo. Necesito saber si el señor está con vida, está muy nervioso.
Papi, esa respuesta, ¿qué tú vas a hacer con él ahora?
No, nada, pero estoy como nervioso y ando así.
Escúchame.
¿Por dónde ibas? ¿De dónde venían? ¿Iban a trabajar o venían del trabajo? Íbamos a trabajar apenas. Siempre manejas despacio.
So the woman who's in the black, the large one who was hit, she was in the car with two of the bodies. So she shook it up, and that's why she says I have nobody, because the two I was driving with are the people I have here.
Jesus, could you imagine that survivor's remorse? Can you imagine that survivor's remorse? You're on your way to work with two people, probably the only people that you know in fucking Miami because you just freshly, moved there to start your new life. You're on your way to fucking work and then they both die in front of you, yet you're somehow alive.
So that's at least the information that we have. It sounds like the Suzuki is where the fatalities happen for sure.
And blew through it? Oh, you already had the camera.
A search warrant of the car's computer revealed she was driving 78 miles per hour.
Okay.
Hold on. What happened? So who's who? A search warrant revealed she was driving. So which one is which? So the girls, the drunk girls, the high girl's car is this one, right? I'm assuming. That's the high girl's car is this one. The car that the Hispanic lady in was probably the black one, I'm assuming, right? I'm assuming the black one. So the crazy girl's in this one, then that one, that's the other car, I'm assuming.
She was driving 78 miles per hour.
Okay, I'm glad we didn't listen to that witness because they didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. And witness testimony is horrible.
78 miles per hour. Fucking hell, bro.
So you were behind him?
And 78, yeah, it's red. It's red for them.
Okay, so she ran the red light.
She ran it, and she was going 78 miles an hour. And probably a 45.
And this... they said it's Hollywood, so that's. Am I looking at Brickell? Doesn't matter. It's a super residential area there in terms of like buildings and stuff. There's no way you should even go on half of that.
The limit is not 78.
78 is highway speed.
Yeah, because 60 is 96 kilometers an hour.
Woo!
Computer revealed she was driving 78 miles per hour with the accelerator fully pressed at the time of the crash.
Oh my god! I guess the only thing you could say is that. Maybe big up on the city street. That's not big up Joe from MIA. This not City Street. That's not Hollywood. That's Midtown, and the speed limit is 25. The only thing you could hope is maybe the victims died instantly, man. That's the only thing I can hope for. Maybe the victims died instantly.
So she up the people in the black car, but it sounds like they survived.
No. There's two cars. So
right, but the car behind is where the. But that's what I'm saying. She had to go through the black car, f them up, and then get to the.
And that's the reason why that's the reason why the lady has a shit testimony, because she didn't even see the white
No,
car.
no.
She just saw a black car coming through. So she thinks, why are we going that way and a black car is going on?
But she didn't even mention the black car.
No.
It was a witness.
She probably didn't even see the black car.
No.
She
had no idea.
She knows it was at an intersection, and she got
So hold on. The people in the black car didn't die, but the people behind died. Oh, car accidents are so bizarre, innit? She hits the black car first, but the people in the other car behind the black car are the one that die. How the fuck did that happen?
People are not alive anymore.
Because the two cars are going opposite direction. Yep. This car gets pushed into them, and that's how they die. Literally, the truck just barrels right into them because the other car presses them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nearby cameras show her walking over 100 yards north from the scene, squatting as if to vomit, then turning and walking south past the crash, totaling about 350 yards before bystanders stopped her just moments before law enforcement arrived.
2 injured in this car.
So she could have got away, innit? She could have got away if she just kept on walking. She turned back to walk to the scene of the crime. Fuck, look at the car, bro. Look at the car. Completely obliterated.
It was front seat driver and the passenger behind him. Apparently she was also.
Holy fuck. That's how hard it is. You know how hard it is to break a brake?
Basically, you know where you are?
No. Yeah. I'm hurt.
Where?
Hurt.
What the fuck? What's wrong with her eyes? What the fuck is going on there? Look at her eyes.
You're where? The roof? Earth. Yeah, we were all on Earth. Do you know where you are? What city? Where?
Oh, Miami.
Miami. Do you know what happened? Do you remember what happened?
Yeah, I died.
Were you taking any drugs?
Yeah. Take Tusi from Florida. Go now. Go now. Go now. Go.
Holy fucking shit, man. This is all scary and sad and scotchy. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say.
News coverage featured an interview with family close to the two fatal crash victims.
My heart is break because I can say goodbye.
You can feel the pain through the screen as Sylvia Molina Cruz speaks to us from Nicaragua.
Beautiful country, Nicaragua. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful country. Went there once. Had the time of my fucking life. Would love to go again. Beautiful country, beautiful people. Jesus Christ, RIP to the victims.
Say goodbye. I only have nothing.
Sylvia's brother Abraham Ismael, his fiancée Juanita Hernandez, and his friend Jesus Rubio driving on their way to work. You can see them here in this photo. Abraham and his friend would die.
Outside of his fiancée, Abraham also left behind his 16-year-old son.
You took part of our life. You broke.
So that was her fiancée. No wonder she was so shaken. The lady that was talking, that's the lady in the black t-shirt, right? That's her in the black t-shirt. That was her fiancée. Big up Joe from MIA. ANTI-VAX. Miami is the home of the highest amount of Nicaraguans outside Nicaragua. Oh, amazing. Amazing. No wonder she was so she literally. Oh man, I don't know.
Family.
After her arrest, Macy faced 3 counts of operating a vehicle on a suspended license resulting in death or injury, 2 counts of leaving the scene.
Is she smiling in that mugshot? Is she smiling? She's literally smiling, isn't it?
Of a crash resulting in death, 2 counts of vehicular homicide and failing to stop at the scene of the crash, 1 count of reckless driving resulting in serious injury, 2 counts driving under the influence resulting in manslaughter and failing to render aid, 1 count of driving under the influence and causing bodily injury, 2 counts of driving without a license and causing serious bodily harm, and 2 counts of leaving the scene.
She had no license.
Of a crime resulting in serious bodily injury. She was initially given a $140,000 bond and placed on house arrest after posting bail. Judge Teresa Mary.
How the fuck did she get bail? How the fuck was she granted bail? Oh my fucking God.
Ruler later revoked her bond, citing the ease of escaping house arrest and ordered
Oh, thank God, thank God.
her held without bail.
Thank
Around
God.
this time, Macy pleaded not guilty to all charges. If convicted, Macy faces a minimum of 4 years and a maximum of 30 if sentenced concurrently. She faces a minimum of 22 years and up to 175 if sentenced consecutively. Macy's driving history adds more frustration to the situation. Between October and July, she was ticketed for failing to register her vehicle, running a red light caught on a traffic camera, and for crossing a median strip on a highway. Although records show her license was suspended back in January, she faced no charges for driving on a suspended license prior to the crash, despite being pulled over and ticketed in May. Macy,
if she was black, let's be real. If this was a black man, this would have ended very differently. A black girl, this would have ended very differently. The license would have got revoked, whatever. This, like.
he also racked up 5 unpaid parking tickets from October to June 9th. According to the Miami-Dade County Clerk's Office website, the 5th unpaid parking ticket triggers a tow order and allows officials to seize her car. Records indicate this.
But I see it even in the UK though. I say that now. I'm not even too sure. Is it me, or even in the UK, is it me, or is there like an increase in people driving high? Or has that always happened? I feel like now there's been way more accidents I've been seeing, especially in the UK. The big problem is balloons. People driving really fast, really fucking crazy on fucking balloons and shit. That's a big issue. But I've seen a lot more. Like, there's a big community of people that I know, especially within the rave scene. Big community, I know people I know, so especially in the rave scene, who go to raves and shit and drive home drunk and high and shit, doing bumps and shit while they're driving their cars back home to drop off people and stuff, under the illusion that because it's early in the morning the police won't stop you. But it's a big thing, man. It's more and more prevalent these days. I don't know why. I don't know what's happened. But a lot of people do it, man. More so than getting drunk driving. I've heard a lot of people under the influence of drugs driving a lot now. I wonder why that is.
Never happened. Had those rules been enforced by the book, Macy likely would not have had access to a vehicle.
I don't know about that one. You know, the whole parking ticket, seizing the car thing is like, no. Miami's horrible when it comes to parking and seizing cars and towing. So yeah, but
but the rest,
which ones? The driver without the license is the one that I'm looking at.
The driver's without the license, the crossing. It's just added to crossing with the median lane. The speeding ticket. Yeah, so it's just not one thing. They're gonna look at it like all those things come back to it. If it's just a speeding ticket, everybody can get a speeding ticket.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think her driving history is anything crazy.
That's fine if you just have one driving. But driving median, it shows a recurrence.
If her license was suspended, then yeah. That's
on top of that, yeah, you're doing all that with your license, which is wild. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's like, oh yeah,
Brian Laura, the guy that stabbed the girl on the train, was arrested 14 times. That story, bro. That girl that escaped the war to come to the States and shit, minding a business on the bus, got stabbed in the neck. The pause, because they haven't released the full footage, have they? The pause of him like full force before he stabs her in the neck, and she's just on her phone, no idea what's going on. Like, oh my God, bro. And now someone released a picture of her bedroom. You see the picture of her bedroom? The picture of that girl in her bedroom. She's got a poster that says Black Lives Matter.
I want to have a chance. Yeah, but all those times that you got arrested, that your license was suspended, that they did give you a chance and you kept on going, the judge might be like, yeah, not this time, honey, you're going in.
Yeah, you think that should be the case?
Yes.
Wait.
And you're probably going to think as well, what about those officers that didn't stop her and gave her a chance? The give it a chance is one thing. She has the responsibility to do whatever she has to do with that chance. And obviously she didn't learn the lessons. Right now, people are go.
Right, but the officers like giving her a chance. Like, you remember the other video, and you said it was good that the officers gave them a chance, and then they ended up killing themselves.
I don't think that the officer should necessarily be held accountable to the point that you are. He has a part of responsibility, definitely. But her, if I let you off, what are you doing with that chance that I'm giving you? Yeah. So, no, because of all the chances that you had and what you did with those chances, and I get what you're saying, right? Oh, what could have happened? In that case, what could have happened, happened. Okay?
I guess what they're saying is right. I guess it's difficult to judge people's future behavior based on, especially when it comes to driving, because there's so many, the driving rules or laws, whatever, are so rigid. Like there's certain things that you can break, like even not having two hands on your steering wheel, right? You can sometimes get pulled over or cited for that, indicator lights, seatbelt stuff. That's not really an indication that you're gonna commit vehicular fucking homicide, you know? That's obviously not the case, but I don't know, maybe the driving without license thing is probably quite serious. You probably maybe would ensure that that is not being looked after, because I'd imagine people that drive without licenses are probably a lot more reckless in their driving. I don't know, it's just an assumption I'd have there. So maybe that could help, but it's just a tragedy all around. And like I said, it's just, I feel like it's a trend I'm seeing a lot more with people driving the high. I've seen it way more, especially in the UK. And this, obviously, you know, it's just as bad, if not maybe worse than driving drunk, it seems like.
Okay. To her, with all the chances that, the way I'm seeing it is, with all the chances that you were given and what you decided to do with that, you chose all the wrong decisions, you're going in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do 30 if you.
Yeah, folks sent me this story like, oh, and I was like, girl, like I don't really care the fact that she's on Fresh Fit. It doesn't really matter.
What?
The fact that she's on Fresh Fit.
No, I don't care about that.
Yeah, it's just like this is somebody who made a reckless decision, and like, you know, this is just another of those instances of drinking and driving just destroys so many people. And every single time, I don't know if it's happenstance, I don't know if it's just the way car accidents work, but it's always them that survives, and everyone else is the one that has to live with their stupid decisions. I truly wish there was a way where whenever drink and drive happened, it was only the driver that took their own life. But for whatever reason, I don't know if it's a cruel twist of fate. I don't know if it's the mechanical aspect of how car accidents work when you're ramming into people, but it's just funny to me that it's always the bad folks that seem to make it out.
Well, there's an hypothesis, how'd you say that?
Theory.
There's a theory about that. The theory is that whenever you're impaired, your muscles are loose. Whenever you're drunk driving, your muscles are looser than the person in the crash that are not impaired. They witness a thing and they crisp up, and that tenses their body, and their body don't react right. Where that's a theory that I heard. It's not mine, and I haven't confirmed it. But what I understood and what I've heard from people, I think it was people working in the ICU, whatever. They said that because whenever you see the thing happening to you and you're not in the same state as the person that is intoxicated, you tense up your body. Therefore, it has more chances of breaking, where these people don't even know what the hell hits them, and they're just like more loose and less aware of their surrounding.
Either way, whatever the reason is, it's a tragedy. Whatever the reason is, it's a tragedy. RIP to those people that pass away, man. What a horrible way to go. What a horrible way to go. Okay, so before we go, let's actually do a little bit of Two Bears One Cave. Let's do a little bit of Two Bears One Cave. Big up Young God Vibes in the stream chat. Big up Young God Vibes in the stream chat. Hope you are, darling. Let's go. First thing we'll do is the clip from the beginning where they apologize for coming back. I think they've read all the comments. I think they've seen all the mean comments. I think they've seen every single mean comment aimed towards them, especially after that first episode of them coming back. And they've officially apologized for coming back. It's fucking crazy, right? Imagine apologizing for being back on your own show. But that's how bad Two Bears One Cave is. That little break that they had where they went to film their movies and shit, and they let Starvey and Chris Stefano take over, was great, especially for, you know, Two Bears One Cave fans. It was such a fucking relief to actually have a funny show for once, that where you didn't hate both of the hosts. So they apologized at the beginning of this show for coming back.
100%. Cheers. Welcome to another episode of Two Bears, One Cave. We apologize, but we are back.
And look at how bad Bert looks. Look at that. Look at his face, bro. His skin is terrible because obviously, you know, he looks like shit. But look at the zit. Look at that spot on his face. That's from just eating junk food, isn't it? You can tell. That's from just eating and indulging in so much horrible shit. Even his skin is breaking out now. Look at how big that spot is. Look at that. There's a lot of stuff in there, isn't it? There's a lot of fucking stuff. I just want to pop it, but it's disgusting.
Yes, we've reached out to Stavi and Chris and other people, and we'll see what their avails are. But for this week, it's us.
We're so sorry, guys. We're so sorry.
Oh, Bert's got his feet out again. Lovely, isn't it? Lovely, not lovely, right? Everyone likes to see Bert's fucking feet. You like to see him touching his feet, twiddling around with his feet. That's what everyone wants to see.
I feel so bad that you guys have to listen to us.
I do too. And you don't have to.
I
That's
actually
the only
worked
thing.
a little hard this week because I was like, yeah. Because I was like, well, there's a lot going on. But I was like, I'm going to bring in good talking points.
Good talking points, good energy.
Good energy.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting with blackface.
Okay.
Or not blackface, whiteface.
Anyway, that's the main clip there. It's kind of heartbreaking, isn't it? It's kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie. I know they're both terrible people, especially when it comes to Bert. Horrible podcaster, horrendous fucking comedian. It's probably pretty sad that they're on their own show and they're having to apologize for being back on their own show. That's how bad their fucking show is. Absolutely crazy that they have to apologize for it. But the ratio says it all. The ratio says it all. Look at that ratio. 2,300 likes to 1,400 dislikes. The ratio is the ratio. Let's go through the first couple of comments on here. 3 bears, 47 ads. If they host a podcast in blackface, they'll regain my respect. Bert not knowing that Drewski did the podcast is peak Bert. Don't worry, I'm not listening. I pause to read the funny comments, then close the video. You get your engagement, I get my laugh. It's a win-win. But yeah, if Drewski calling Jack Doherty and Bert calling Jack Doherty a genius has to be on the top 3 dumbest things. Bert and Tom aren't just relatable anymore. They haven't been for years. I missed the Kool-Aid era. That was peak Bears. Please have Starvey and Chris back. Tom Arms looked like a 60, 70-year-old man. I legitimately thought that they were going to cancel the show and just never do it again. It's wild to hear 2 people so disassociated from reality. What is happening in this country right now? Tom lost so much weight he looks visibly cold. Somebody get him a blanket before he gets sick. Bert's bare feet and snorting and wheezing within seconds. Bring the summers back. Bring the summer bears back. So yeah, as you can see, nobody likes the show. Nobody fucking likes the show. Next clip here we've got. For some reason, Bert thinks Drewski is a Trump supporter. Maybe it has to do with that skit that he filmed that went viral. That's fucking amazing, where he plays that NASCAR fan. But for some reason, Bert thinks Drewski is a Trump supporter. You know, and obviously he has no idea if it's true, but he just puts it out there. Thanks, Drewski.
It's incredible.
So why? Here's what I don't understand. What type of human is offended by the Drewski thing? Because they're trying to cancel him? But like, is it...
What?
So like the alt-right loves Drewski. Like the alt-right, I think Drewski's like a Trump supporter. So like the alt-right, I think so. I mean,
Drewski, sure. The man, the guy, the real guy?
Black dudes. There's a lot of black dudes that are Trump supporters.
Is he's an outspoken? You're just going to label him as that without knowing?
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
It just seems like
is your next answer?
Anyone that's good on the internet really likes Trump, I think.
Is he being serious or is he joking? Like, what? Anybody that's good at the internet likes Trump. What does being good at the internet have to do with liking a politician? Why would you put that on somebody? That makes no sense. So Drewski can only be funny because he's a Trump supporter. Name me a funny Trump supporter. You're like, you know, what are you talking about? Isn't he funny for just being funny? What is, if anything, one of the great things about Drewski's skits is the fact that he gets everybody. Everybody gets it. Black, white, Asian, whatever. Everybody gets it. One of the best things also about Drewski's skits, they're pretty apolitical. He doesn't really, he could probably make a lot more money and probably get a lot more viral because politics, you know, it gets clicks and it goes fucking crazy. But he tends to steer away from politicizing his skits. They're mostly just observations of society, essentially, right? That's what they are. They're never really politically based. So it's weird that he's even ascribing politics to it. It's like, no, it's just a funny fucking skit. It's even made, obviously it's made more funny because, you know, Drewski plays a fucking guy who's into fucking NASCAR, who's probably based on a real person. But it's, I think it's made funnier because we all know that Drewski isn't white, he's black. So it kind of adds to it, you know, it kind of adds to what's going on there. But why is Bert acting as if like the only reason why Drewski is funny is because he allegedly supports that? What the fuck are you talking about, bro? He looks like pure doo-doo.
Really?
Did Drusky support Trump?
Okay, let's look it up.
I mean, he looks like a Trump supporter in this video.
Well, yeah. I mean, that character does.
That's the whole point, you fucking idiot. Anyway, Bert being a comedian and completely missing the point of the joke, missing a point of the skit, and interpreting Drusky playing that role as Drusky actually being a fucking Trump supporter is fucking ridiculous. Even if he was, that's not the point of the fucking skit. The point of the skit is to kind of highlight people of that type of ilk or that personality. That's it. It's just a bit of comedic relief. It's not that fucking deep. But Bert's a Bert. Next one. The next clip here is going to really, really shock you, right? The next clip is going to make you really, really shocked. Bert Kreischer thinks live streamers are the most brilliant, genius people in history of the world because they make a lot of money. This, I think, is a more of a reflection of Bert's worldview and what Bert thinks is most important in life. Like, Bert thinks making a lot of money is proof that you're a really, really awesome person. You're a real big genius. If you're able to make money, no matter how you make it, you must be a genius. You must be the best person ever, because that's how Bert kind of lives his life, right? The fact that he's terrible and he's a hack comedian, I think he sleeps comfortable at night because he knows he makes a lot of money taking off his t-shirt, even though it's the most reductive, uninspired, nonsense, bullshit slop in the world that probably no one would ever miss if it disappeared tomorrow. He definitely sleeps well or better under the proviso, under the knowing that he's making millions of dollars doing this sort of shit. So it kind of reveals that. But it's just a funny thing to say. Live streamers are the most important people in the world because they're making a lot of money. It's like, bro, you only care about live streamers now and that whole economy and ecosystem because it makes a lot of money. If it wasn't, you wouldn't be giving a shit. But it's so fucking, again, let's just play the clip anyway.
He's in that universe. I mean, that universe is, by the way, the most brilliant universe that ever existed in the entire world. The
live stream universe is the most brilliant universe that's ever existed in the entire world. I know he does his hyperbole thing, but I think he means this as well. Like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Just the other day, comedy is the most important thing. Mrs. Shaw was the most important person ever. The Comedy Store was the most important club in the world. Now, all of a sudden, rolling a few years, Comedy Mothership is the most important place ever. And now live streamers are the most important people ever. What, live streamers are more important than Mrs. Shaw? Live streamers are more important than fucking whoever the guy is that's booking all the people at the fucking Mothership. Let's be for real.
Group that is Kai Cenat and Drusky and Aiden Ross and Jack Doherty and all these streamers who...
Are you calling them the most brilliant people in the history of the world?
Do they make... How much does Kai Cenat make? How much did Kai Cenat make?
I don't care what...
I love how his first example, right, of streamers being the best people in the world is to just say how much money they make. He doesn't even say about the cool things that they do, the initiatives that they launch, the people that they help, the people that they inspire. The first example he uses to illustrate that live streamers are the best people in the world is money. Because that's how he looks at comedy. Yeah, in Bert Kreischer's head, the best way to judge a stand-up comedian is to see how much tickets they sold. That's the best way to judge them. Oh, how much money did their tour make? When really the question should always be, no, are they funny? Yes or no? Are they fucking funny? That's what should be the main metric. But, in Bert's brain, it's all fucking ones and zeros.
What they make, I don't say like...
Buddy, what a cheat code. The guys figured out how to make $160 million a year.
What?
Dude, he makes more money than, they're making crazy money.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I don't think they're geniuses. I just think they're, found
just right time, right place.
You can't mention geniuses as well in this way to Tom when Tom's having a midlife crisis type of thing and he's trying to be a director, he's trying to be a screenwriter, whatever, producer, because he probably thinks, people in that world are geniuses. He probably wants to be a genius at one point. He probably wants to really be considered in that or looked at in that way. So he's sitting there thinking, hold on, live streamers, they do a live version of this, and you want to call them geniuses? No, let's not do that.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to them. I'm happy for them that they're doing that well, and they found their audience. It's got 43 million fucking...
Big up, Young God vibes. You're right. Men are so insecure they pocket watch more than women. Exactly. Big up Z. Bert want to do skits with Drusky. No one wants to watch him though. I remember that kid asked him to tell a joke. I think Bert's asked Drewski to do a skit. I've got a feeling. The way Bert is, I have a feeling Bert's definitely asked Drewski to do a skit and left him on scene. I think so. Big up Black Americans. Screw you, neurologists and lame-ass cancer researchers. How many subscribers do you have? How many likes do you get exactly? How many chicks you fuck? How many chicks do you fucked? Exactly. Big up Black Americans.
And followers, that's great. But
I mean, I like when you look at that, like they have single-handedly recreated entertainment. I mean,
it's a whole new format. It's why that fucking, people don't want to watch. Hey, can we sing a song in my car? Like as a bit, because they just go like that's less entertaining than what these guys can do for sure.
I mean, and Drewski's good friends with Kai Cenat, I think. And
those guys all kind of
they're funny as shit. Like when they do their live streams,
I like how he's acting as if he's endorsed. Oh, look at his face, man, compared to his hands. Look at his face, bro. He's even developing an alcoholic's nose. I'm sure he's already had it, but he's starting to develop an alcoholic's nose. He's starting to look how big his nose is. It looks bulbous, bro. But look at the difference between his hands and his face. Jesus Christ.
Now listen, I'm not going to watch the whole 4-hour live stream or whatever, but their clips are fucking hysterical.
Yeah, they definitely tapped into something. It's awesome. Probably inspired a bunch of people to try it too.
Oh no, inspired, and I say ruin our military. This show is sponsored by.
Okay, whatever. That's a point to try and be funny. And look at the amount of ads on this show as well. There's definitely a lot of ads. There's so many ads you got to skip through. But yeah, that was interesting observation from him. Completely dumb, completely redacted. But hey, this is Bert Kreischer. This is Bert Kreischer. I'm going to leave it right there, my friends. I'm going to leave it right there. It's approaching nearly 5:30 in the morning here on my side of the globe. So I'm going to leave it right here. We're going to carry on again tomorrow for day number 12, I think, of the fucking marathon. So thank you for joining me. If it's your first time check out the show, or you just enjoyed what you've seen, make sure before you leave, before you press X on this window, make sure you like the stream. That's all I ask. Make sure you like the stream. That's it. Make sure you like the stream. Cool. If you like the stream before you leave, I'll make sure as soon as I finish, I'll add the timestamps, okay? If you like the stream straight away, I'll make sure to add the timestamps as soon as I press stop streaming, so you can get them and obviously check out the show later on. So make sure you like the stream and subscribe to the fucking channel, motherfuckers. Big up everybody for joining. Appreciate you. I'll be back again tomorrow, a bit earlier tomorrow, hopefully, so I can get my workout in earlier, and I'll be here again. Same routine as today. Taz before, random show after. Same routine. Taz before, random show after. Thank you for checking me out. I appreciate every single one of you. Smash the like, hit subscribe, join and become a member. We're trying to hit 500 members by the end of the 31 days. Join me in this marathon. Live streams coming all week. Member only streams coming on Wednesday. Remember, me and NJ Ranger going back to back, bar for bar, on the Wednesday on the call-in show. So make sure you're there. And yeah, man, appreciate every single one of you. Take care, be well, and see you guys again tomorrow. Okay, cool, peace.